final round coverage of the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Temperatures approaching 95 by the end of the day in Memphis, where they have been playing PGA Tour golf for 65 years. Today, it's 70 or go home as you look at the temperature. Feels like 95 right now. And that number 70, that's the number that heads to Delaware this week, trying to keep their hopes alive of winning the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Get you right back out to the par 5 third. Justin?
And Will Zalatoris had to lay up Woody because he had a mud ball, and he's really surveyed this, walked all the way up to the green.
He did, absolutely. He was ready to go for it, and too, he had a pretty good number, I think, and he kind of peeked at the last second, saw some mud on the front of the ball, decided to lay it up, really put it in a nice position. He's got 81 yards, all the green in the world to work with. He can really kind of play any kind of shot he wants to. I would expect him to run something back there, but pretty mature decision, I think, at that point, Justin.
Yeah, look how close he hit it at 1 and 2. Just a couple of basically tap-ins. This is all about how it lands, exactly where it lands with the spin. See if he can judge it correctly. I wouldn't think he'd be super pleased with that. A little bit of a tug. To 4.
And this is the 191-yard par 3. Cam Smith. Getting 1 under through the first 3 holes. Back within 3.
The hole's tucked over that bunker on the left, just over the water as well. That's a fantastic shot. This is the hole.
Yep.
Gave him all the trouble yesterday.
Over to the 11th, where Steve Sands has the call there. Sandsy?
Thank you, Dan. Here's Denny McCarthy. Made a wonderful move earlier today. This was a little bit earlier on the par 3 11th. Birdied the first 3, birdied again on the 7th hole. He was 12 under, just 1 back, and oh, that hit a sprinkler head. And bound all the way over the bunker on the penalty area. Take a look at this. Paul, that's not fair.
Well, does it go across the pond? It was going to be in the bunker probably, in all likelihood. It nails the path. Let's see where it ends up.
Yeah, take a look at where it ends up. That's amazing. So it's back in there. It's dry. It's not in the water area of the penalty area, but man,
yeah,
that is a brutal break for Denny McCarthy.
And at 18, Justin Thomas, you see, is in good shape. Hasn't been the kind of week that would have pushed him to the title, but he's still in excellent position heading to the BMW, and that's a good way to take the road up to Delaware.
That's a good round, too, I tell you what. It had some pace on it. I don't think it was going in the water, but...
Yep, entered the week in that good top 10 position. Didn't lose much ground, at least at the moment. As again, that top 70 advance. This guy's short game is off the charts.
Yeah, it is. No, that was perfect, actually.
Were you trying to figure something out?
Well, I just thought maybe that's going pretty hard, but it really wasn't. The way it rattled off that flag, that was only going to be about 2 or 3 feet by the hole.
Back to the par 5 third.
And Will Zalatoris from 15 feet. This is a quick putt here, Woody.
Yeah, just a little right to left in it. It'll be interesting to watch these two develop over the next year or so. It reminds me of Sam Burns and Travis Perkins. Sam Burns, always a flusher, struggled on the greens. As soon as he hired Travis, who's a great greens reader, he became a different player. It'll be interesting to see if Will does the same with Joel Stock, who's a great green reader as well.
Well, they got it ironed out there. Beautiful putt. So now Will Zalatoris at 14 under par, 3 under through 3. Can't dream of a better start.
It puts some pressure squarely on his shoulders. He knows everybody expects him to win, Justin, and now he's snagged the lead, and there'll be no hiding from the pressure, no sneaking up from behind for Will Zalatoris now.
Kind of looks like Denny McCarthy's trying to hide back there, but he's not. He actually was hitting his second shot, and look at that.
Oh, about it.
How about that? How do you find the green from back there?
I was thinking he was going to just pitch it in the bunker, try to make a bogey at worst. 2 putts from there would be pretty good, I would think, Steve.
Yeah, there's a guy who's not trying to just hold his position, Paul. He's playing aggressively. He's trying to get his first ever win on the PGA Tour. This for par. Earlier when we were on Golf Channel, Denny had a few putts come up short. That one comes up well short at 11-3 again.
And Trey Mullinax here for his birdie. Down the slope, move a little to his right. Oh, just burns the edge. Man who just won a few weeks ago for the first time.
At 13, Adam Scott for birdie. Boy, did he have it going on the front nine. You can see he's in the green in the 46th position. He was looking like he was had a track to Eastlake. He still might with the way he's been putting and playing. And now he is back inside that 30 position.
Yeah, what a big move.
Back to 3.
And Sepp Straka ready with his second here, Roger.
Yeah, 267 into the breeze. Oh, all the way in the back right. And this is pulled in, hooked wildly way left.
Just 2 of those in a row. That is a tough shot, Justin.
Okay, well, the good thing is it stayed out of that long grass. That's just a breeding ground for stuff that likes to bite and sting. So at least he stayed out of there, but as you can see, he's got a lot going on. Looks like he might have found a little bit of an alley through there. Find out in just a minute.
Cam Smith from the edge for birdie. On the hole, he was assessed a 2-shot penalty. He's going to get out of here today with a par and stay at 10 under. Now 4 back of Zalatoris, back to 11.
McCarthy. And that's his second bogey in his last 3 holes. So McCarthy's retreating just a touch. He's now 4 back of the lead. Sending it to 3 once again.
And JJ Spawn had to lay up, and Roger, from his position, looks like maybe the ground superintendent missed the green with this flag stick.
Well, it is all the way in the back right, in the most narrow portion of the green. And to go for this in 2, I didn't really like the option. I mean, I know he could do it, but boy, any miss to the right for Straka would have put it in the water. I don't really like it from the left side of the green going at it, and he just missed wildly left because of it. So now Spawn has 126 left.
For sure.
But there's a mound on the right side of the green which obscures the view of that back right part of the green that he'll be playing in. So a little bit of a blind shot as far as being able to see the surface.
I think that I don't think you can get a wedge and with this mud like not long, but like just through here is fine. But I just like this because you can control it better, and then with this, like it'll release down where the wedge. You got it if you get it up in the air, and I don't know with the mud, at least you can control this, you know. So just hit a 125 shot with this. Right at you, like. I mean, it should be freaking.
So start on that tree?
Just, yeah, the bare one.
Yeah.
And then just like a, 28 shot, just nice controlled flight of, or nice committed swing right there.
It's JJ's caddy Mark Cairns giving him final instructions. Obviously, he's between clubs, and a little shift in the wind direction today is making it a little tricky here in the early going.
I like what he said last. Play it for a 128-yard shot. Just always indecision there.
Found the bunker. Why looks to be okay. Over to 4.
And Will Zalatoris trying to keep it red hot. We're going to check out his trajectory here with our Top Tracer technology presented by T-Mobile for Business. And that headed a little left. Not too bad. And back at 17. And this is Cam Davis with his second shot. He had a clutch up and down on Friday to make the cut on the number at 2 under. And he's working on a 3 under round here as he heads to 17. Another beauty in there. Cam, a part of this drama with seasons on the line today at the FedEx St. Jude Championship as we learn in this FedEx Player Advantage. As the opening event of the FedEx Cup Playoffs comes to an end, some players are looking to break into the top 70 in the rankings, while others are just trying to hold on to their spot at next week's BMW Championship.
I'm going to do my best to make it. I mean, I don't know exactly what I need to finish, but I think I'm better off not knowing and just trying to finish as high as I can in this field.
Entering the week 66th in the standings, Cam Davis looks to stick to his usual game plan to preserve his spot in Wilmington.
The only way I play well is when I relax and try and just enjoy it while I'm, just play the best golf that I can.
On the other side of the spectrum, Wyndham Clark is relying on his aggressive game plan to make the BMW Championship for the second time in his career.
My goal this week was obviously to try to get to next week to the BMW. I've obviously done a good job thus far. We've just stuck to our game plan and said, let's just be aggressive. And, the goal is obviously to win this thing.
So you get all these scenarios where these players making the top 70 could be career-changing for him. Wyndham Clark, part of the piece there, came in, as you saw, 79th on the FedEx Cup points list, trying to stay aggressive here. He's +1 on his round today, so -8 for the championship.
Ooh, that's a very good shot. 172 yards here. This 8th hole is a birdie hole for these guys.
And Davis looking for 2 in a row here. As you saw his beautiful approach into this 489-yard par 4 17th, and that is a good little run here coming home for Davis. 50th position, and so he's going to be drama-filled today. Let's try to get a birdie at 18 before that, though, for Cam.
Well, we're back. Sepp Straka, he does have a little alley to play in, but he's got to keep it down, Raj.
If he gets this on the green, it'll be amazing. It doesn't make it, doesn't carry the bunker. I believe it got down into the sand.
Took a big risk there trying to go for the green. Over to 4.
And the second here for Zalatoris, who started off with 3 birdies in a row.
Yeah, and hit 17 consecutive greens until this one, and with a good effort.
No problem saving par there. Stays at 14 under. And FedEx Cup points quadrupled in the playoffs. And that could be huge for Zalatoris if he's able to get out of here with his very first PGA Tour victory. Highest ranked players without a win. Well, Cam Young, you know all about him. Just 2 impressive players who, it is surprising, they have come close, but they haven't won yet. Zalatoris is trying to grab those 2,000 points for the win, and that would vault him to the top ahead of Scotty Scheffler, who missed the cut, #1 in the world, who's been on top of the FedEx Cup point standings for 23 straight weeks. Could be supplanted by Zalatoris. We'll wait and see. Back to the 3rd.
And J.J. Spawn playing out of turn from the bunker. He's 2 for 3 in sand saves this week, but he's 163rd on the PGA Tour this season, so he's going to have some work left for his par. Back to 4.
And Trey Molinex from just off the green. He's trying to continue his good play after winning for the first time at the Barbasol Championship just about a month ago. And back to the 3rd.
Yeah, he was real relaxed this morning, almost philosophical about this day.
A long bunker shot here for Straka. Flies it, carries it down onto the downslope. Oh, that's beautifully done there. Judging the pace. And he'll have a good chance to save par. Up to 9.
And Tony Finau, who still has designs on maybe getting hot on this back 9 and finishing up this front 9 with a birdie, of winning 3 in a row.
You better believe it. If this goes in, get ready. Get ready to see an aggressive Tony Finau on this last 9 holes. A chance to win 3 tournaments in a row. He's going to give it his all.
That should be fun to watch. Back at the 8th, Wyndham Clark. Clark moves it to 9 under. This is going to be a race to the BMW. 70th, and then with that, he now moves up 12 spots at the moment. 58 projected right now.
And J.J. Spawn, Raj, this for par.
Yeah, watch this bunker shot roll out. There's not much in this. Got to hit it solid.
Just broke to the right. All the grain goes to the back right part of this green. So easy to tug that 3rd shot. He was in between clubs. He knew he had a lot of club there. But still, disappointing bogey at the par 5. And now Will Zalatoris has a 2-shot lead. We'll go to him now at the 5th.
On this par 4, 482 yards.
Every player to a man talked about the importance of putting it on the fairway to have a chance here. And this is one of the hardest fairways to hit. And he's going to be blocked out by trees on his right side. And it'll be very difficult for him to get that anywhere near the green.
Yeah, always one of the most difficult holes. Now Smith up ahead. This putting touch is good from all distances. He's proven that. Comes up a little short.
Yeah, you weren't going to win at St. Andrews unless you were an amazing lag putter, which he is.
To the 3rd.
And this is Sepp Straka's route. Good tee shot, but boy, big hook on his 2nd. It is 3rd into the bunker. Beautiful bunker shot now to 4.5 feet. And because of that grain going towards the back right, this is going to be fast and moving to his right. Oh, never high enough. And that's his first miss inside of 5 feet this week. So disappointing bogeys here at the par 5 3rd for this final group. And Will Zalatoris now finds himself with that 2-shot lead here at the FedEx St. Jude Championship, the first leg of the FedEx Cup Playoffs. Who will make it to the BMW next week?
J.J. Spahn coming off bogey at 3, teeing it up here at the par 3 4th. It's a good shot.
Sure is. You really don't have a choice but to go right at that flag. Front bunker in play. The water should not be in play today.
Straka trying to straighten things out here off the tee. He was asking it to go. It just had enough to get over.
Yeah, that's living on the edge.
Now he's got a really good look at birdie. And he, like Spahn, bogeyed that par 5 3rd, so he could use one.
Yeah, there's been 6 birdies on 4. It's a tough hole, but not any tougher than this one. This is the most difficult hole for the week and 3rd most difficult today.
That's exactly the way you kind of found that ball, right?
And Mullinax drove it way left. They couldn't find the ball initially. They have found it now. He's got 192 left. He's got a little gap in between these trees, but a horrible lie and a completely blind shot.
You see the top band of scores going by. You saw Ricky Fowler there on the red. Ricky Fowler is going to miss out on the trip to the BMW Championship. Not a part of the top 70, which are shaded in green at the moment. These are projected numbers. Max Homa looking good. Victor Hovland looking good. Both of them for the Tour Championship. Top 30 get into Eastlake.
Woody, I always found off these upslopes that the hosel snatched easier because you tend to stay behind the ball, and you can really flip this over and yank it left if he tries to take a chance and go for the green, huh?
No question about it. Yep.
Well, they continue to look that over. We head over to 14, pick up Rahm for birdie, and he's just 4 back.
Yeah, making a move. Hardest hole on the course, believe it or not, is this par 3.
And his wife Kelly welcoming their 2nd son to the world just a week ago. And right after that delivery, it was Rahm who had a chance to hold both of his kids. Said it's time for the playoffs now. He says it's going to be tough to be away 20 days or so, as he's looking good to head to Eastlake as well. So he'll return to dad duties after the FedEx Cup playoffs.
At 16, JT Poston hit a beautiful long iron in here. This for eagle at the par 5, putting down the slope.
Oh, this looks like Quad Cities. The John Deere.
Man, he can roll his golf ball.
Oh, he made everything that week.
Mullinax finally ready. Woody at the 5th.
Yeah, they've got 7 iron here, looking for a jumper. Like I said, a completely blind shot. Pretty good line if it gets the right bounce.
Sounded like it was good contact, and it's creeping up toward the green. That is really good from there.
And guys, Zalatoris actually ended up all right. He's far enough left where he really doesn't have to go have any tree trouble. He can go with the left side of the green and be wide open. just a matter of judging these lies. We've talked about it all week. 177, you just have to judge how it comes out.
This is one of the great swings in the world today.
Straight up and down is how that works.
And that was 9-iron from 177 on a good line.
Oh, yes.
Judging all of that, Zing.
That's incredible. I mean, that's why he's on top of the board. He's been incredibly accurate from the fairway this week. He's hit a lot of wedges, really kind of kick in, and he has really helped. A big advantage to be that upright when you get in tall rough.
They talked about Jack Nicklaus having the upright swing. One of the reasons he was so good about coming right down steep on the ball and rough.
Davis Love was like that. Scott Hope, guys that took it straight up and out. Johnny Miller even was a terrific rough player.
And while Zalatoris was hitting, this was Spahn coming up short again. So that was just earlier, and so now we're live with Sepp Straka. Raj?
And a great look at birdie here. All the green on this green runs to his right. We'll see if that affects it.
I really
if
admire.
it's at tying speed.
Yeah, I admire the way this guy sets up, Raj. He's just so beautifully square.
Sepp Straka with a much-needed birdie. Jumps up there, 2 back. Back here with Will Zalatoris eyeing this for birdie. And they seem to be waiting for a ruling with Sepp Straka's ball. You see those sprinkler heads right in front. And while we have a chance, we'll remind you of the format. 16th edition of the FedEx Cup Playoffs. They've had some varying formats through the years, but top 125 make it into the FedEx St. Jude Championship. In reality, 120 arrived here in hopes of making it to the top 70 and heading to Wilmington Country Club, which will host its very first FedEx Cup playoff event later on this week. And then the big goal, get to the top 30, make it to the Tour Championship, where you will be seeded once again in this fashion. Number 1 seed starts at 10 under and on down the list.
Well, you know, like you said, they've used a lot of different formats. I think this one seems to be the most popular amongst the players, and that's what matters most. And whoever wins next week likely will carry a 2-shot lead into the final day.
This is Wyndham Clark looking to make his position even better heading into the BMW. Was projected at 58. Now with that last putt that drops very much inside the cut line. To 12.
And Colin Morikawa 2 under on his today. This is his second shot. Perfect tee shot, middle of the fairway. Tough hole location here in the front left. That's beautiful done. Beautifully done. Gives him a good look at birdie, sneaking up that leaderboard.
In the third for Molinex now at the 5th.
He's got to carry that stuff. No relief here. Made it look easy.
Yep, just bumped it up there and should be a par for Molinex to remain 4 back. Back to 10. We see if Tony Finau can keep the pressure on the guys above him on the board.
This is a big one if he wants to do that. And he's,
oh,
gosh,
like
I thought that
was
was in.
So did Tony.
Man, to get a chance like that at 10, not many going to get it closer than that.
And back at the 5th, Woody, for Zalatoris.
Down the hill, maybe a dimple to the left. Not much in it.
So Zalatoris with a par after the 3 birdie streak to start. Keeps his 2-shot lead over Spahn and Straka. Finau, Scott, and company all trying to put some pressure on Will Zalatoris. Today's coverage is being brought to you by FedEx, where now meets next. Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. And by Zexio. Experience light, experience easy. Zexio. Experience the difference. And out to the 6th.
Where Cam Smith has this birdie try. Trying to get back to 11 under par, which is where he began the morning, but not the round after that 2-shot penalty. Scooches that one by a little bit. Let's head you up to 14.
The long par 3 today. It's 220 yards. Sahith Theegala at 9 under.
Yeah, this is a tough hole location. A miss left is no good. And that's fine. Yes, what a shot.
Didn't look like he was particularly thrilled with it.
Well, he was desperately giving it as much body English as he could to keep it out of that bunker.
Back to 6.
Where Cam Smith has this par save, and he usually is unnerved by these types of putts, Paul.
You know, we watched his practice routine, and he has one of those mirrored plates that he sets on the ground. He aims it directly at the hole. He knows where his eyes are, and he puts a tee on the inside line so that his backstroke doesn't get too much on the inside. And he just starts every putt on line, and it's just a matter of whether he read it right.
Yeah, just so calm in these types of situations.
Yeah, you think all the great putters, you know, they just don't roll out there. I mean, they continue to work at it, making sure they've got nothing, no flaws coming into the stroke. This is Harman at the 10th.
Not one player fluked their way in here. These guys all grind and work hard. They all carry different mindsets, you know, and philosophies and strategies. And of course, no two swings look alike. It's so intriguing to watch these guys that have never won try to win.
Harman bogey free, second birdie of the day there, moves within 3. You can see how the FedEx Cup standings are shaping up as the FedEx St. Jude Championship concludes. Follow all your favorite players. Don't miss a moment of the action on PGATour.com. And back out to the 5th. Traditionally one of the most difficult holes out here, Roger. J.J. Spawn getting ready.
Yeah, a big part of the puzzle's been solved already. 2 wonderful drives by these players. That's from the center of the fairway now, 152. Trying to shape a little cut in there. It's going right, though.
And we'll keep it right here for Straka. Coming off that big birdie at the 4th, Raj.
It was a needed birdie, too. He'd been struggling a little bit through the first 3, obviously. And now has this from 146 yards.
Could be a huge day for Sepp. In fact, his mom, Mary, his twin brother, Sam, were scheduled to fly in from Valdosta, Georgia this morning for this final round to see if Sepp could close the deal on his second PGA Tour event.
Okay. What's the front edge?
34. Clubs here.
Okay. That way, kind of take the line out. Gotcha.
Well, there's not much wind blowing, but I think there might be a little from left to right. Oh, just slightly below his feet here. See if he shapes a cut in there. This is at the left side of the green, not his best.
No, that's disappointing not to hit the green in regulation from there.
Yeah, after that tee shot on a hole that difficult, he's be kicking himself all the way up there.
211
for par. Yep.
This hole can be difficult, but if you hit a good tee shot here at the short par 3 11th, you are going to be in business, and that is what Brian Harman did. Just got it over the bunker, creeps it within 6 feet. Excellent look at birdie for the little lefty.
Colin Morikawa, beautiful short iron here. And since he's tied for 5th at the U.S. Open, he's missed his last 2 cuts. But comes in here after 3 weeks off. Seems like he found a little something, Paul, because everything looks good for Morikawa.
Yeah, he had an intense look on his face the first 2 days, like he just didn't have it all together, and he was grinding away. He had a little spring in his step walking off that green.
Will Zalatoris, boy, beautiful start. 3 birdies in a row, and he's the leader by 2 here in Memphis.
We talk all the time about how great the ball striking is for Will Zalatoris. He tugged that one a little bit left into the rough off the tee at 6, so he's in a bit of a tough spot here, John.
He does have a little window, Steve. He can go low and right and try and turn something around it. He can get a clean hit on this ball, so he may be able to turn it. Even if it comes up off the green just short, it's okay. This is... Yeah, that's just fine there. He's got tons of green to work with. Probably a pretty good spot for it to end up.
Anything but a miss left is okay there. You know, this is rough is just so unpredictable. Even the best players struggle. Did a nice job controlling his trajectory. That could have leaped up into that tree, but didn't. And but he's got some work to do. There's no doubt about it.
This was a moment ago, the third for J.J. Spahn. 2 back of Zalatoris at a tie for second with Straka. And should be able to save par from there to stay at 12 under. Up to 13, this is Lucas Glover. Projected rank coming in 71 with a birdie. Would move all the way up into the 59th position. Good enough.
Believe me, he knows exactly what he needs to do.
And that's what he did.
Yep.
He is inside the top 70. 3 back.
Every
tournament
player,
leader Zalatoris.
every player and their caddy will have figured out what they need to do today to advance next week.
Back to Straka. Oh,
rare miss. Total decel there. That's unfortunate. Poor second shot from a perfect drive cost him.
He's been putting so well this week, but he takes a step back to 11 under. Up to 14. We saw Thigala's tee shot here. Chance for birdie. You can see his rank there, 27th, projected right now, and nearly moved up a little bit as that birdie just ringed out. Back to 7.
And Cameron Smith in trouble here over to the left of the fairway, Noda.
Yeah, just a weird lie sitting well up in these pine needles. Got to try and keep it down. The ball's going to want to jump up, but he's got to keep it down to keep it underneath these tree limbs.
Trying to play a big hook. Lost a footing in his right foot.
This is hot. Let's see how it runs out.
Just makes it into the deeper stuff. So pretty good from that position, being that wild off the tee. That's a good 30 yards left of the fairway. Look on the pine straw. Watch his right foot right before impact. It starts to give out. Boy, that's pretty athletic to still make good contact with that right foot giving way.
You can say what you want about turning the body, but that was saved with great hands.
Here's Brian Harmon at 11. Remember that tee shot? Cash it in with the 2. There you go, Brian. To 12 under par. Started the week 55th. He's thinking bigger things now. He's thinking of winning here in Memphis. Now Zalatoris is 3rd, John.
Good lie, flat lie, plenty of green to work with. Should be able to spin it a little bit.
Oh, like that? What a shot.
Absolutely beautiful. That's textbook stuff right there.
Spectacular touch there to 16.
And Adam Scott drove it in the right rough, had to lay up, hit a nice wedge to this position. This for birdie. Going down the slope. Adam Scott gets it to 12 under par. And he's done himself all kinds of favors with the beautiful round today. Started the day at 70th, now all the way up to 24th.
He's got Eastlake on his mind now, Justin. Well, this year marks the 10th anniversary of the FedEx Purple Eagle, launched in 2012 to honor a St. Jude Children's Research Hospital patient who was also the child or grandchild of a FedEx team member. In the Purple Eagle program, a FedEx aircraft is named after a Purple Eagle honoree and carries the iconic St. Jude logo. There is 5-year-old Riley. He had his name placed on a FedEx feeder plane with previous Purple Eagle honorees in attendance. As we're now joined by Don Colleran, President and CEO of FedEx Express. And Don, thanks for all you have done with this incredible partnership with St. Jude. And tell us a little bit more about this great tradition of this program and the naming of the plane in Riley's honor this week.
I'd love to, Dan. Great to have you in Memphis, by the way.
Good to see you.
It's a wonderful tradition. 10th year anniversary of the Purple Eagle program. Like most great ideas at FedEx, it bubbled up from one of our employees, and we're sitting around saying, you know, how can we honor and recognize and hopefully energize some of the St. Jude's kids that have a relationship with FedEx while they're going through treatment, or more importantly, when they're coming out on the other end. So the thinking was the most important week here in Memphis is this week around the tournament. And we have a ceremony every year for the last 10 years. All the kids were here, which is the best part of the story. And we name an airplane after them. And to me, you saw Riley on the lead, and 5-year-old with a ton of energy. He's heading off to school. Another great story is a young lady by the name of Allie. She recently graduated from college. Best part of the story, she's getting married in December. So it just reinforces golf and the purpose that it has, and what better purpose than St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
As we continue to watch the action here, Smith's third at the 7th. And that will come up a bit short. And it's such a powerful combination, Don, of FedEx and St. Jude. This is the first time it's been a playoff event here in Memphis. So this is really special, even though you guys here at the Global FedEx headquarters have been so involved with this tournament for so many years. It does have a little elevated feeling, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, sports fans love playoffs, and we at FedEx introduced playoffs to golf 16 years ago. You've been with us, you know, every step of the way. This year's different. It's in our hometown, and for us, what we get to do is showcase all that Memphis is about. You know, just validate the power of two powerful brands, FedEx, PGA Tour, coming together to help kids that need help. And so there's going to be a lot of numbers tossed around, and this is the 65th year that the tournament's been here in Memphis. We're going to raise and have raised over $60 million. I know we're going to hear from Steve Sands later. He's going, who's in, who's out? You'll be talking about it all day. But I'll tell you what, the only number that matters to me is since we've been doing this tournament, the survival rate for pediatric cancer was at 4%. It's moved to 95%. Those numbers give me goosebumps, and it's what this tournament's about. It's what this week's about. Love having you here. It's a really, really special week, and we're thrilled that we can move the needle a little bit down at the hospital.
Yeah, you do more than move the needle. Thanks for this great collaboration, Don Colleran of FedEx, for all you do as we get you back out to the action at the 7th.
And Will Zalatoris, this tee shot, wants to put this left center of the fairway.
Just dead straight holes, Justin. This is headed right.
Oh, yeah, finds her. Oh, dear. That looks like it's stymied right behind the tree.
The most feared chip out.
Boy, that's trouble there. And we saw Cameron Smith's not a very good third shot from that rough. It was a tough lie, though.
You're exactly right, Justin. It wasn't a great line. As we all know, players that have been in this Bermuda rough, it's a guessing game at times, and he's done a pretty good job overall this week of guessing right and being able to get a lot of those up and down, but got another tough look here.
It certainly does. The grain on this green growing kind of to the right part of the green. So this putt, while it's not really up the slope, it is slightly in the grain from right to left. This ball should move to Cameron's left.
Exactly. If he just hits it dead speed and puts it right on the top side of the hole, it should drift over to his left.
Beautiful save. It is fun to watch. Whether he's from the fairway or the trees, it is always exciting with Cameron Smith.
At the 10th, Wyndham Clark for birdie. You see his position 50th now, trying to solidify that. And Clark will remain at 10 under, 4 back as we go back to 12.
And Brian Harman with a beautiful tee shot here, just 93 yards. His 12th hole playing much more difficult back into the breeze. Oh, and from that distance, able to put some spin on it. Beautiful second shot. So Brian Harman has a chance to get within 1. Great look from overhead. Look how narrow that target is. Beautiful spin control, distance control from Brian Harman.
So just chip it to as far over as we can. Yeah, and I mean, I would chip it.
Now that's the ball of Will Zalatoris here at 7.
And Justin, the initial look was a chip out. That being said,
here, the better we can try to hit something over the top. Exactly. And we're 33 front. So let's say in a perfect world, we're trying to hit a full lob wedge.
Well, I mean, I always think just like at the
shot length.
Shot length.
Yeah.
So like 60 yards.
Yeah. I don't even think you need that much.
No.
Yeah. Fairway's the most important thing, right? Okay. So just pick a specific target.
Initially, when they got to the ball, Justin, they were discussing a Sergio-type shot from Medina where you kind of open it up and slice it around everything, but such a dangerous shot at this point. You hear him say, we're just going to chip it out, try to get to about 60 yards is their number, but fairway is the most important thing, like they said.
And he wants to get over to the left side of the fairway.
He caught that little pine needles there.
Yeah, didn't come out there quite as cleanly as he wanted. We saw that beautiful shot from 93 yards from Brian Harmon. Now this to get within one, at least for the moment. Zalatoris in trouble. No. Not able to take advantage of it.
Let's see if Sepp Straka can take advantage here at 6. Trying to get to where Harmon already is at 12 under. Yeah, that's more like it from Sepp.
He's good at that, Steve. After that disappointing miss, you know, he had a couple little heart acres there the last round at Honda and just withstood it all and won the golf tournament.
Bounced back both times with birdies after bogeys today.
Yep.
John Rahm, this for eagle at 16. Beautiful long iron from 215, just short of the green. So has a nice round going at 10 under par. Now at 11 under. Back to 6.
Let's see if J.J. Spahn can do what Sepp just did, Roger.
Yeah, underneath the hole here. Great look at birdie. Back from the fairway. I thought it got it a little closer than this, but came up a little short. There you go, 2 birdies.
First birdie of the day for J.J., and he gets it back to even par on the round, 1 back of Will Zalatoris.
Adam Scott, just a little while ago, we were checking the stats, was leading the tournament in strokes gained putting. This for birdie at 17. Had plenty of pace. But when you match up a good putting week with that ball striking, Adam Scott can do some damage. Back to 7.
Will Zalatoris measuring his 3rd.
Helping win. So you're just going to open it up a little bit, get it? Yeah. Just kind of go down, just barely off the right. I mean, it feels more westy right now based on what that flag's doing.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't even be opposed to going just like a little bit more over a flag left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And stay fairly aggressive, and then if anything, it's going to spin back and a little right, okay?
Right.
All right, buddy. Let's commit to it
103
now.
yards, straight downwind. If he wanted to flight something, that tree might be in his way, but I think if he goes high, it's nothing to worry about. You heard him about a flag stick to the left would be ideal here.
And the nice thing, it is playing a little bit downwind, but as that flag was indicating, maybe a little bit off his left. So make a little cut swing on this wedge.
Yeah, just a good lob wedge. Should have plenty of spin.
Wow. Boy, that sailed on him downwind. So while he's had a 2-shot lead here for a few holes, it's down to 1, but he's got about 20 feet left for par. J.J. Spahn making a move. Andrew Putnam having a nice day. Justin Thomas with a good round. We'll be right back.
Cam Smith going deep over the green of the par 3/8 in the Bermuda now with his 2nd.
This is the purest form of Bermuda there. Nobody's walked anywhere near that spot. A full-blown bird's nest, and he just picked it out of there perfect.
What a touch. The wins this season, Cameron Smith, the age of 28, has been racking them up. 34 under to win in Hawaii. The Players 13 under. Open, he went 20 under to lift the claret jug. Look at the shirt he has on. In all of those wins, it's the same one he has on today. So that has become the Sunday uniform of Cam Smith, who saves par and remains at 10 under to 7.
And Zalatoris here for par. Down the slope. Boy, great effort there. So unlucky off the tee to be right up against the tree. Had no play at the green. So he falls back into a tie with J.J. Spahn at 13 under. Now He knew it wasn't going to be easy, even though he did birdie those 3 holes to begin with.
Nothing easy about it. He knows what that scoreboard says, that he's on top and he's going to deal with it. And it's never easy to win a first one.
Trey Mullinax hit a huge drive, 357. Misjudged his second shot. He's got this left for par. Okay. Nice 4 there from Mullinax.
Well, we're in the midst of 3 playoff events to decide the FedEx Cup, and there's only 3 races to go. The run to the IndyCar Championship continues as well at Worldwide Technology Raceway, Saturday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on USA. And check in with John Rahm again over at the par 4 17th. He's trying to make a late run here on this Sunday.
He did the hard part, which is put that ball right in the middle of the fairway. Hole's only 5 from the right, 14 off the front, and a pretty good shot. Needed just a hair more energy maybe, but good chance for Rahm to get to a 12 under par. Wow.
Yeah, working on a 4 under day as Spahn is over at the 7th.
And he's driven it in the fairway bunker. And Roger, would you be surprised if I told you that out of the 44 players that have been in this fairway bunker this week, only 4 have hit the green?
Nope. Would not be surprised. He's up near the end of it here, so has to get it up quickly. Now, one thing he does have in his favor, 2 things actually. It's on a bit of an uphill slope in the bunker, plus it's playing downwind, so that will help. But still, it'll be a great effort to get it to the green.
I mean, I think you tell me if I could.
Dan, you and I watched.
I mean, you got it. It's on the uphill. It's good lie.
No.
What?
It's too uphill. I can't even like swing hard.
Well, while he figures things out, we're going to go to 13.
Brian Harman with his second. Sitting really good 21st projected ratings right now. 3 under on the day, not a single drop shot.
When he gets that rhythm going, he can really go low. He's just coming off a short missed birdie putt at 12. Now another good chance here.
Brian Harman in the thick of it.
I was going to say about
Big time.
J.J. Spahn, Dan, you and I watched him hit. His launch is very high for a guy with kind of a rounded swing. So he could do it, Justin, maybe.
Well, don't try to like do something that, you know,
82 though. Wow.
Well, just hit like a sandwich. Just,
Yeah.
yeah. Remember the shot you hit like at Augusta where you just like that.
Looks like he's laying up with that club.
Paul, I think that was his first instinct when he got in the bunker. He said, no, I don't think I can do it. So if he doesn't think he can do it, don't even try it.
Exactly.
And he was referring to a shot that he just hit at Augusta when he made his first Masters by winning that Valero Texas Open, and that was the shot they were looking for there.
That's okay. He got it up past the tree. Not a lot of green to work with. That'll be interesting what he decides to do with his third. To 11.
Andrew Putnam, he has designs on a birdie that would get him to 11 under. Yeah. Well, there's an opportunity here for the guys later in the afternoon, Paul, at 11. If you hit a good tee shot, you will have a great look at 2.
No doubt. He started 87th for the week. Has moved all the way up to 45th.
Now Straka.
That's from 138. And that's at the center of the green, well left of the hole.
Same shot he hit on 5, Roger. Just
not that good.
Not that good. A little bit of a tug. He has struggled in approach to the greens a little bit this year. Not so much this week, but certainly the last 2 shots.
And Zalatoris has arrived at the tee at 8, coming off his first bogey of the day. Shot that 63 on Friday to get his championship jump started after a 71. Had him talking to his fiance. She said, hey, what are your plans if you don't make the cut?
Oh.
And that kind of got him a little more focused.
Perfect. Love it, bud. Commit to that, please.
He went out and shot the 63 and of course made it. Shot 65 yesterday to climb up the board even further.
Yeah. Watch his glove hand. It rotates away from the ball, and he stands that club straight up. Got a very long, high left arm, but watch the left-hand grip. You'll be able to see it from this angle, too. Watch his hands rotate away like that.
And that's our Top Tracer technology presented by T-Mobile for Business.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You just knew he was going to do something here. Get a short iron in Will Zalatoris' hand, and he is dangerous.
Just caromed off the knob there, and now he's got a good look at his 4th birdie.
If you watch his hands here, the way he takes it back, this is a full rotation. It's called pronation, and then he supinates through the hit. A guy with a stronger grip will have more flexion and extension, not pronation, supination. He's got a terrific bounce. But the key to that shot being good, total distance control by Will Zalatoris.
56 PGA Tour start in his 2nd full season on tour. Still looking for the victory. Today's coverage is brought to you by FedEx, where now meets next. Degree, it won't let you down. And by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. Final round of the opening leg of the playoffs continues here at TPC Southwind at the 7th.
And J.J. Spawn just trying to clip one off the Bermuda. He got all the way past the Zoysia fairway, clipped it a little too much. He's got some work left for par. To 13.
And Brian Harman has been chipping away, chipping his way up the leaderboard here. 3 under on the day, looking to tie for the lead, and Brian Harman has caught Zalatoris and Spawn.
Birdie, birdie, par birdie on the back 9. Shows you what everyone's capable of coming through that stretch.
Here's John Rahm looking for another birdie at 17. Gave it a good run. And back to the 8th, and a birdie look here for Zalatoris, Woody.
This feels like a big one. First bogey of the day at the last, and right in that distance that he struggled with. So this could be big.
Again, that 4 to 8 foot zone, that's going to be the 7th putt he's missed in that range, but he's actually putted, believe it or not, pretty well considering that. But imagine if he was really running the tables, big old cushion.
Let's go to 7.
And J.J. Spawn with his par putt, Raj.
Trying to escape here, should go a little right.
Yeah, I think he just misread it there. Yeah, we've seen that putt breaking right all day long, so he didn't see it. The vagaries of Bermuda grass greens. Not the easiest to read, are they, Paul?
No, they're hard to read. You have to somehow evaluate the shine and the grass, and yeah, it's always you can have a flat putt that you have to play outside the hole because of the grain. Not here so much though, Justin. These greens are pretty good.
Yeah, they're very subtle too. Yep. Lots of subtle movements, no big movements here at TPC Southwind. Up to 9.
This is Cam Smith for par. He drove it in the right trees, so he's just trying to stay in touch here, but he can't make them all. And he drops a shot back to 9 under, now 4 back.
Yeah, pretty big blow to come out here this morning and find out you have 2 shots added to your total.
Yeah, thinking you were going to start the day 2 back. Instead, it was 4 back for Cam. Monday, Peacock kicks the Premier League season into high gear with 2 of the world's most prolific goal scorers, Cristiano Ronaldo and Manchester United host Mo Salah and Liverpool. August 22nd. On Peacock. Good look high above TPC Southwind. They like to refer to as an old school kind of track, Zing, even though it opened up in the late 80s. You played here a number of times.
Yeah, I love this golf course. It's one of the best of the whole TPC rotation, I think.
Here's Trey Mullinex pegging the ground here at the 9th as we take a look at our driving holes technology presented by TaylorMade Stealth Drivers. And the shot shape here a little cut as it bends around to the right.
One of the longest drivers on tour. He absolutely kills it.
Yeah, he's ranked 10th in distance. He's just trying to fit this between that nasty Bermuda rough. Short
just
of the
like
lake.
Dan called.
Oh, look Look at it go now. See, the fairways didn't roll like that any of the first 3 rounds. It's finally drying out.
They had 3 inches of rain Tuesday night, more on Wednesday, and then it has been good dry weather since.
Wind left to right, so helping him hit that cut around that bend a little bit. And he loves this one too.
Picking it right up.
Yep, that's roasted right down the right side. He should get a good bounce, and he doesn't.
Nice in the rough.
Not. Yep, everything slopes to the left there, and he got a dead straight bounce. Makes that way more difficult.
So he was pretty stymied at 7, where he picked up his only bogey of the day. So he's at 13 under as Zalatoris began the day at 11 under, was 2 back of Spahn's 54-hole lead, birdied the first 3 holes to zoom up the board in search of his first win. Brian Harman is right there trying to get his 3rd PGA Tour victory. Adam Scott is playing the 18th hole and having a rough time there, but he's up high at the moment, and we have so many players who haven't even been to the BMW Championship. Straka is one of them trying to get there. At the 8th, Straka at 12 under, just 1 back. Spahn has been to the BMW. Neither Spahn nor Straka have been to East Lake for the Tour Championship. A lot of guys with a chance to do something they've never done in their careers. As we go to 14 and Brian Harman, long par 3, 220 yards. And it is downhill. You got the water in play all along the right side.
He's got to hit a good shot here. You want to bail a little bit to the left. This is the one hole you have to get past if you want to win this championship. Nothing silly here.
Thus you'll see a lot of guys go well left.
You can go too far left and get it in that bunker, and now he's in big trouble. That's not as bad as the bottom of that pond, but still he's got to go right at the water from a downslope, and looks like a lousy lie.
Spahn's on the tee at 8, Raj.
Well, breeze coming from the right. Sure don't want to miss right.
Oh boy, he's missing right according to Tracer.
Yeah, this may miss the bunker right.
Oh no. Did it plug on the downslope? It did, and JJ Spahn now in deep trouble. There's no chance to get that close unless he gets really lucky.
And he's coming off a 2nd bogey at the 7th. Over to 14. And Tony Finau is next.
Down a little from the left.
He's just 2 back in search of 3 in a row. We've talked about it all week long. It took Tony 5 years to get that 2nd victory after the 1st, but he has just been playing some sensational golf. 12 straight rounds in the 60s now for Tony.
Tony's an hour and 10 minutes out in front of the leaders. This is the one shot. Like Brian Harman, you got to get past this. You don't need to reach this flagstick. I would personally try to play it just short of that bunker. Do my damage on the next hole.
He hit it in the water here yesterday.
Sure did. I don't think that's not on his mind. Bail out left is big trouble as well. You just want to be short and on the center of that green, left of the flag.
Been only a couple of balls in the water today in this final round.
Nice little hold me off like he might have pulled. He screwed that face open. That's okay. That is absolutely fine. Just what he needed.
Over to 18. We told you that Adam Scott was having some problems over at this finishing hole. First tee shot on the water at 18 today. So this has turned into a big adventure for Adam Scott. And he's now got everything working away from him there.
It's a tremendous 3rd shot to get it to here. So this is be for rescue a par, which would be a miracle, but you don't want to double the last hole. He'll drop like a rock in the standings if he does that.
Yep, you saw the fall he would take with each successive shot that he had here. So now that for bogey.
Nice lag.
Should escape with a 5 as we go back to 9. And Will Zalatoris, would he?
129, and he's got that kind of lie where you could kind of pick at Zinger. It's kind of sitting up top and maybe take some of the jump out.
5, so left edge of the stand.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep.
129 total, 117 to cover on the left side.
Feel like I need to go at it.
Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, I love it.
Look, I think Will's good enough. Woody, that he can make it jump or keep it from jumping. And I think he's going to decide before he hits here. And,
Yeah,
you'll know by the flight.
You would think he'd try and keep this one from jumping, because even if he jumps and lands on the green, he's probably going over.
We'll see if he can do it. It'll be a little lower if he can prevent it from jumping. If not, he'll moonshot it.
He's going right at it. What a shot.
Yeah, that's so well measured.
And over to J.J. Spahn.
Just electing to play away from the hole, had no play at the hole. He was in a real mess there.
So he's in danger of back-to-back bogeys big time as we shoot up to 16, Justin.
And Lucas Glover with his third shot here at the par 5. Lucas missed a little short par putt at the 5th, but since then he's 4 under par on this round. And using a little bit of the side slope there, he's got a good look at birdie here at the par 5.
Adam Scott for bogey now. You can see him in that 26 green, so he is able to get it in. Tee shot in the water cost him a few spots. But Adam Scott doing what he needs to do this week. He entered the week outside of the top 70, well inside of it, as he looks to the BMW this week. Straka with a par there to remain at 12 under. One back of the co-leaders Zalatoris and Harmon, 16.
And Lucas Glover, see that green number, 64th. He started the week at 121st. This for birdie. Lucas Glover now to 12 under par, and look at the move he's made today. All the way up to 42nd. Got an important couple of holes left, but what a round that is.
Tony Finau from long range at 14. Playing with Brian Harmon for the second straight day.
And Brian Harmon hit a magnificent bunker shot in the playing
Tony.
through. Nice effort by Tony Finau. It's what he needed, a good par.
Gonna stay at 11 under. And Harmon's should stay at 13 under as we check in at the 9th. And Zalatoris, another good approach there, just under 16 feet for another birdie.
And just got a great look off his playing competitor. Trey Mullinax just went a hair left on him. That one just hit it right through the break.
Yep.
Okay, plastered it.
And back at 14, we check in with Harmon. It's a little lengthy par putt. Thought it was a little closer, but he's got to have this for 13 under, Noto.
Just going to work a little away from him.
Oh!
Could not give the hole away there, and he did that, and it cost him.
Yeah, what a shame. Such a nice shot from that sand.
First bogey of this final round for Harmon. He falls out of the lead. Zalatoris by himself at 13 under. One more look at this.
We used to call this the paint job, always blaming the paint for causing that ball to curl out of the hole.
And Zalatoris for his par to stay on top now by himself. Yep. We're going to get into it a little bit later on about how Zalatoris has found something with his putting that he'd been searching for, that kind of finally came to light at the PGA Championship, and it has helped him immensely.
Yeah, it took a tremendous effort for Zalatoris to stumble on what he's learned about putting.
Oh, Spahn with a double.
That's tough. Well, since 2020, there's been 33 players with a one-shot lead going to the final round, and only 5 have been able to convert that into a victory. JJ started with a one-shot lead. Now he's in trouble.
Yeah, 54-hole leader now, 3 back. Rahm with his third. Kind of pulled his approach. What a touch. So Rahm should tap that in for a 4-under round of 66. And a good feeling, good day for Rahm as he heads to the BMW in search of something he's never won, a FedEx Cup title. Back at 13, Wyndham Clark for birdie. Clark has never been to the BMW Championship or the Tour Championship, and he's got designs on getting to the BMW Championship and then some. Look at this move since he was in the red at the 5th with that bogey.
How about that? Yep, 1 or 2 more birdies and he'll be locked. Maybe par in and you're locked.
To 15.
A moment ago, this was Joaquin Niemann. Left side of the fairway. Good angle at that back right hole location. Oh, how about that? Stay put. Okay. Really nicely done there by the Chilean.
And Jon Rahm with a cleanup for par.
Get ready to see Jon Rahm put the pedal to the metal these next 2 weeks. I think he's starting to really come into his own here now. Get back to the Jon Rahm that we're used to seeing.
Yep, he and his wife Kelly welcoming their second child, Aniko Cahill. Kelly's maiden name, part of that name for their second son, born just about a little more than a week ago. Rahm currently tied for 5th. It would be his 7th consecutive top 10 in the playoffs. Still lots to decide in this final round Sunday in Memphis.
Just that driving iron, taking it up the right side, trying to keep it short of that bunker. Could have gone over those trees, but with how firm the fairways are getting, I think he would have gone through. So that's perfect right there.
Yeah, it's in a real intangible to be able to hit a long iron that far.
And at the 9th, Straka dealing with that rough over the water.
Like a jumper.
Kind of a spongy lie. A little knuckly, but pretty well judged.
Straka's hanging in there. He's taking 1 step back, 1 step forward, a couple of times, keeping his composure. What could be the biggest win of his career, to 12.
And a moment ago, Troy Merritt here with his second shot. Just knocked one in the soup at 11, made double bogey. And that's how you get it back. That's called a rebound right there. Makes the eagle at 12.
Isn't that awesome?
You don't often see a guy get 2 shots back after a double bogey, but that's how you do it. Just hit it in the fairway, 1 hop it right into the hole. Great look from overhead. It's a scary hole location here. Front left, 12. Boom.
Well. He started the day 10 under and bogeyed 5, 7, 9. And a rough patch, but boy, what a nice comeback.
To 15.
Tony Finau is still in it, but he's running out of holes, Noto.
Yeah, has no choice but to take on this whole location, which is basically, looks like it's sitting right on the edge of the creek. If he lands it just left, it will spin a little to the right, but he has pulled this. And that's not what he needed right now.
No, that was a little bit too safe of a play there from Finau.
At 16, Colin Morikawa found the right rough. Hit a fairway wood to this point, just short of the green. This is his 3rd. And a beautiful shot there. Nice touch. Landed in a perfect spot, just short of the green. So Morikawa has a chance to get to 12.
Wyndham Clark on the tee at 14.
This has to be a nervous shot for him. Let's see what he can do with it. Gosh, that's so hard to watch. Oh, my goodness. That's going to drop him like a rock.
Now at 17, Lucas Glover, who is making a move today. 4 under on his day. Second at 17.
Hold your line.
Asking it to hold its line. It does barely. Gets a nice little bounce back, and Glover has a chance to tie for the lead at 13 under.
Brian Harman was tied for the lead a moment ago, but he bogeyed the 14th.
Sending it from just outside 100 yards, trying to draw it back in. It is not coming, though. He'll be disappointed with that one as well.
Straka from just off the green at 9. And so he's going to stay one back, Zalatoris. And up to 14 after finding the water. Third shot now for Wyndham Clark. Trying to salvage a bogey here. And that is going to be a nervous putt for a 4.
That's important too. He starts the week at, let's see, where was he at the start of the week? 79th. So yeah, he needs to keep it going.
This is Trey Mullinex coming out of the rough at 10.
195 out of a jumper lie, helping win. This is 9-iron on a great line. If it gets down.
Not bad as he tried to control it out of there, Woody.
It's about as good as he could have done there.
Yep. Mentioned Mullinex, 4th year on tour, never been as far as the second leg in the playoffs. Zalatoris again was not a member of the PGA Tour last year. He was not eligible for the playoffs, even though he was racking up high finishes in major championships. So this is his very first playoff event.
160 perfectly placed, straight downwind, just a wedge.
By the way, Morikawa tapped in for his birdie, Woody, at 16 to get within 1.
Starting right, turning over a hair right at it as usual.
He's just an incredible ball striker. He's got an uncanny ability to just put his body in that position every time. High hands, big lag coming down, and Zalatoris is hoping that this is finally the day. He's had 4 runner-ups, 3 of those majors this year. He's hoping to break through in a big way in the playoffs. The 16th edition of the FedEx Cup Playoffs. Who other than Tiger Woods would win 2 of the first 3. Only one other player's won 2. That's Rory McIlroy. As we get set to crown another FedEx Cup champion. It's on to Wilmington Country Club. And then it's on the East Lake to decide it. Patrick Cantlay, the defending champion of the season-long race for the FedEx Cup, to 15.
We saw Tony Finau take the conservative route with his second shot. So here's his birdie putt. He still is 2 back, 3 holes to play. Doesn't have that par 5 16th, but it's a tough finish here at TPC Southwind.
Lucas Glover to tie for the lead. Got it. What a day for Lucas Glover. That is 7 birdies on the day. And it's to 13 under, 5 under round. Those 2 bogeys early kind of left him way outside the top 70, but now he's all the way projected into the 5th position as a tie for the lead there. 15.
Brian Harman's trying to tie for the lead as well. Oh, that close. The long look and the wry smile gives it away. This is Cam Smith at the par 3 11th. This is a par putt. Has not been Cam's day, literally and figuratively. But that 2-stroke penalty assessed while he was standing on the range warming up for this final round.
And Steve, he had a chance to become, I mean, he's still not out of it, but a win today would have made him the #1 player in the world over Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, he had a lot on the line today. Kind of derailed before it even began.
And this is the bogey attempt for Clark at 14. He's still not in for double.
Yeah, he feels the pain already. He knows he's going to drop hard. And he had to sneak by this 14th hole. He wasn't able to do it. He's got a couple birdie holes coming up.
And Zalatoris lining up this birdie attempt.
And Zinger, great look at 8, great look at 9. You just don't want to let a lot of these, you know, get by as you're trying to win your first tournament. Another great look here.
Totally agree. Leads the field in strokes gained, tee to green and approach, and he's going to bury this one. Yes!
He had an epiphany just before the PGA Championship earlier this year. He was in panic mode. His coach Josh Gregory told us, he said, "I'll meet you at Dallas National." They went and looked at old videos of his putting stroke and figured out a lot, and a lot of it had to do with the shoulder tilt.
Well, a lot of it had to do with his setup. His left shoulder was shrugged up high. So he wanted to relax his left shoulder, keep the shoulders even. He moved his weight left, which got the putter going straighter back. And hopefully we can show you in a little while the grip change that he made is so very minor, but made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, that was one of the keys as well. Maybe we'll show you that a little bit later on as he's coming to the dangerous 11th.
You have a
par
one
3 today.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no,
Paul.
that's okay, Steve. You have a one-shot lead here, and the hole is really in a diabolical spot. Any kind of a miscue, and you can pay a heavy price here at 11. You guys have to deal with about 6 or 7 full swing water shots from here to the clubhouse. And this is the first one. Be another one on the next hole. 14, of course. 15. Water's in play twice, and then water's in play twice on 18. So they've got some dangerous shots coming in, and Will Zalatoris, having never won before, Steve, you know, these are real gut checks, and you have to hit, you know, not everybody can win playing over water.
Yeah, so Zalatoris has that one-shot lead, and I was texting back and forth with his assistant coach at Wake Forest. Jerry Haas is the head coach. Dan Walters was the assistant coach for Jerry Haas at Wake Forest, who recruited Will Zalatoris. And I asked Dan about Will, what he saw in him as a person and his game as he recruited him to Winston-Salem. He said he was the hardest working young kid he had ever been around. In fact, Dan said his parents told us that we would have to tell him not to practice, that he will work too hard. We kind of take that with a grain of salt, but there was no question, Dan said, he was the hardest worker he had ever seen in his time at Wake Forest. And John, you're down there with the newly minted leader by 1 here at the par 3.
151. They had to wait it out. It should be into the wind, and it was blowing downwind for about 30 seconds, so they waited it out. This is wedge, and I don't think it's a big one, just kind of a flighted one towards the center of the green. Exactly where it's headed, towards the center.
Okay, safely on.
Commercial break.
Let's go all the way up to 17.
And Morikawa trailing by 2, trying to finish strong here. If he doesn't win the golf tournament, he certainly can solidify that spot, which is 12 in the green right now. He was the leading point getter coming into the playoffs last year, Zing, and making a nice run here. Morikawa with a chance at 2 birdies in a row as he hits that one tight at 17.
Well, what a shot by Brian Harman. Here, his second shot at the 16th. Hit the green in 2. Just the 4th player to get it on the putting surface. We've only had 1 eagle here, that by JT Poston. Tony Finau trying to hook it up there in front of the green, and misplayed his second shot. Now this with his 3rd, Noda.
Yeah, tried to get a little bit too much out of that second shot. Was not a great line. Was sitting down well in this thick Bermuda rough and had a tree to contend with. And you know, that's why they're the best in the world. They take risks that most people wouldn't, and most of the time they pull it off. But on occasion, the game of golf does get its own there. So going to try and have to play this low, get it running, and try and maybe get up near the front edge.
Well, that's a man right there that's just playing to try and win the golf tournament, going for that. Look at this, though. It's to go a little right. It'll catch a little bit of a slope. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. And now Tony Finau has a good look for birdie after a really poorly played second.
Well, Lucas Glover working on a 5-under round, hit his tee shot in the bunker there, and that's where he picked up a bogey in the 2nd round, and that's the same bunker he's in. He was in on Friday, so let's see what he can do with it from 179.
If he can put it on the green from this bunker today, he will be the first.
And he came close.
Yeah.
Back at the 10th, Sepp Straka also in a fairway bunker.
It's below his feet, so he's got to guard against hitting his fat. The heel wants to catch first. You have to get high-handed at the bottom to hit a good shot. Oh! Straka. He got a lot of game, this fella.
Played his first 9 and even with 2 birdies, 2 bogeys. He hasn't given up much ground at all. Zalatoris at 11.
The leader for birdie.
These get tough, Stevie, when you grab a lead. You're trying to win for the first time ever. That's okay. Still got a little work left, maybe.
Yep. Those seem like the more difficult ones than the lengthier ones. To 17.
A little left to right, or these can be tricky. Morikawa.
No claw grip. First time I've noticed that. And that's the second short putt he's missed on this side. He missed a short one at 15. And that one there, heartbreaking. Well, he really looked like he was struggling to me on Thursday and Friday. There's just this intensity on his face that you don't usually see. His eyes were wide open walking up to this green.
Still
at that chance.
Heck of a round, 4 under. With 18 left here to try to take one more crack at catching Glover at 13 under.
Moment ago here at 11, Trey Mullinax playing alongside Zalatoris, kind of get lost in the shuffle. Hasn't made a birdie all day. And then he did that at the par 3. How about that? Trey, you're on the board. Back to 11 under, where he began the day. He was 2 back to begin, but now he's 3, and Zalatoris taps in for his par there at 11. You see the red numbers at the top of the screen. That's bad. Green is good. Green means you are advancing next week to Wilmington, Delaware in the BMW Championship.
At 16, Brian Harman has an eagle putt here to tie, Noda.
Oh, just a beautiful look here, Justin, coming back down the slope a little down grade, just gonna turn gently from his right to left. So just got to make sure he gets it out there high enough, and we'll have some late hook in it.
And I like the fact that this putt is down grain. You know, he's got to give it a chance, and being down grain, he doesn't necessarily have to worry about as much about the speed. It should get there no problem. Well, never high enough. Well, he'll have a tap in here.
Could be running out of holes, Justin.
Yep, he should be able to tap that in and get to 1 back. You know, the whole location at 17 sits up well for him. He likes to move the ball from left to right, which is a draw for a left-hander. Right hole location there.
Yeah, it'll certainly take something special coming home.
Yeah, he's got to think, you know, he's got to birdie the last 2, I would think, but right now he's within 1. To 10.
And Sepp Straka eyeing this one for birdie.
Yeah, one of the best shots we've seen all week from a fairway bunker.
Oh, he's got it. Sepp Straka jumps into 13 under on the tie for second and back to 16.
And Tony Finau, after that tremendous 3rd shot from the left rough, has this left for birdie.
This will be one you talk about in the locker room after the round if he's able to knock this down, Justin. Jeez. Just going to move to his right, so a similar challenge to what Harman faced, the ball breaking away.
That's an unbelievable up and down from about 210 yards. Clean card, the 3 birdies, 12 under par, 2 back. Zalatoris going with driver here.
Oh, wow, Justin, what about this decision? Oh, man, he's going to have to get lucky.
Yeah, it looked like he did. I think it got past the bunkers. He's in the rough. Kept it out of that long native grass.
And you see Lucas Glover from off the green here trying to finish off a sensational day and a sensational run.
Yeah, he's playing great today. He's 5 under for the round. He's ranked 198th in putting or something this year. It's really bad.
That's got a little bit of speed.
Yeah.
He was 6 under. He's 6 under in the last 12 holes. All of that came after he missed a 1.5 foot putt for par at number 5.
Here's Sepp Straka at 11, fresh off that birdie, Raj.
Yeah, this 9-iron wind has freshened and against the players. This going well left of the hole.
Ooh, that's going to be a tricky one speed-wise. To 18.
As this is shaping up as his best finish of the year, Lucas Glover. He was tied for 5th at the Sony Open in Hawaii. It's his only top 10 of the season coming in to Memphis here.
Well, when you're that far down in your putting stats, I don't care how well you hit it, you can't carry a good score to the clubhouse unless you can hole some putts. And I really like his routine. I'm not sure why he doesn't make more. It seems like we get him on TV a lot and he's always making putts. This is the all-time point and shoot guy right here. If you watch his routine, it's quick. When he gets over it, he is ready to rock. So he knows how important this putt is. This caddy, Scott Tway, has been out here a long time. And if Lucas needed to know what this putt means, Scott would have provided him the information. And, yeah, here we go, Dan.
Started the week here 121st on the FedEx Cup points list. You saw that green shade at number 29. Not only has he played his way into the BMW, the top 70, he's got designs on going to Eastlake.
Yeah, watch this routine. Look, once he looks back, that's it. He might look again. That's it. Here he goes.
This for par.
My goodness, what a nice effort. What a heartbreaking 3-putt there to close.
And he had a batch of birdies, which cushions things a bit. 7 in all. 3rd bogey comes at the last. It still adds up to a 4-under round. 66 for Lucas Glover. Does cost him some precious points and position on the FedEx Cup points list, so let's check it out. Starting the day, as we mentioned, 121 the week, I should say, projected now in the 53rd position, safely on to Delaware for the 42-year-old veteran.
Well, aggressive play with the driver off the tees, found the left rough, but no tree issues, and he's taken the water pretty much out of play. Dig something out of there. Just came out dead. But better there than it jumping over the green. Look, I'd make a comment about his lie, but I can't see his ball. Just completely submerged. So dug it out of there. He's got a chance to get it up and down for par. Back to 11.
Here comes that long birdie putt from Straka. Looking for that 3-foot circle, Paul.
He sure is.
Now it starts to gather a little bit of speed down that hill, and okay. Definitely has left him something to think about for his 3 at 11.
3rd shot for Morikawa coming home. He drove it in the bunker. And so he's got 166 left to try to get it up and down for par. 18, the most difficult hole today, and it's playing the toughest it has all week. Just 3 birdies. No approach shots inside 10 feet at the 18th today. And at 17, Harman is in trouble, Noda.
Yeah, he's got a whole host of issues. First and foremost, a terrible angle, terrible lie, and I don't know that he has enough clubhead speed to get the elevation to cover this tree that's about 60 yards in front of him. So if he tries to do it and doesn't get it, everything's in play. The creek's in play, the rough's in play. It's just a pretty tough situation.
Yeah, and there's Scott Tway actually caddying for Brian Harmer, and I said he was caddying for Lucas Glover. That would be Tommy Lamb caddying for Lucas Glover. My bad there. But
and this is where, you know, Harman's very effective. He's a very crafty, creative player and really manages his game well. So, you know, he may just try and play this to the left front part of the green because there is a little bit of an opening that he's looking up at there. So maybe just trying to piece together a 4 here and not drop a shot.
Looks like he's looking up.
Yeah, he's going to try and hit this up and over. It's going to take a big effort.
Mention that creek up there in play if he doesn't catch all of this.
Took a short iron, got it up and over. That's going to need to work to get to the fairway.
He gets there.
It's a hard course to close out a championship on. I tell you what, there's a lot of difficult shots down the stretch here.
Up to 12.
Zalatoris bumps it into the fringe. Oh my goodness. He's the only player to birdie the 12th all 3 rounds. Almost made it a 4th birdie.
That's kind of a cool little bumpy kind of shot, Justin.
Yeah, Justin, not a lot of guys have been willing to bounce it into the fringe like he did here.
Yeah, well, I mean, taking more loft and trying to fly it on the green puts a lot of risk into play.
A 2-hopper.
That was really cool. Well done. And you just got to commit to the point where he wants to try and land it, which he did beautifully, to 17.
Finau, 186.
A birdie finish could go a long way for Tony.
That would put him at 14 under. The number Zalatoris is at right now, and Tony's got the heart of the green. With a birdie look, but a long one. 11.
This is a rather short par putt for Sepp Straka a little bit earlier. Okay. Handled that 2-putt well, and now he's on 12T.
Just going with 3-wood here.
And he looks pretty pleased with it. I think it's fine.
Yeah, a little further back, but he's got it in the fairway. Looks like he just missed a divot there, so in good shape. Trey Mullinax with a beautiful second shot here at 12. This for birdie. Slightly up the slope. So Mullinax gets it to 12 under par, just 2 back.
Well, here's to the golfers. To those who know there's no better place to be, this is your sign to go play. Book your tee time on Golf Now. And back out to 12.
And Will Zalatoris, after that beautiful little pitch shot, this to save par. Okay, catches a lot of those short ones out on the toe of the putter, but certainly he's made most all of them here this week. To 17.
Where Harmon continues the scramble. Nona, what's he got now?
Yeah, just under 90 yards. And nice flat lie. Plenty of green to work with. Hole's just sitting there, kind of banked back toward him. So.
This is his strength. This is a small player, doesn't hit it very far. He makes a living with his finesse zone game.
Absolutely. Players like Harmon and Kisner, they really have to be mindful of their short irons, because if they can't take advantage of the par 5s with length, they have to lay up and really rely on their wedge play. And you know, this is critical to them not leaking shots.
Well, the skill set now is to control your adrenaline, and can you hit these shots hole high? It's all about controlling your adrenaline. This is experience. If he hits a good one, he's been in contention a bunch. Oh, easy. Yeah. Haven't seen a ball back up like that the entire tournament. He hit that as well as he could, but really disappointed.
To 12.
JJ Spawn, this was just earlier, on with 3-wood, 4 over par for the day, and this is not good. Oh boy. And he's gonna have to drop it well back in the fairway.
Morikawa trying to save par. The last, get 12 under in.
He had the saw grip going at the start of the week, and he switched to this more conventional grip. He had a killer weekend, shooting 66, and if he makes that, 67.
First 8 starts this season, Morikawa had 6 top 10s, and then he really kind of fell off. Last 8 starts, 1 top 10. He had that tie for 5th at the U.S. Open, at the Open Championship. First bogey, though, in 27 holes for Morikawa. To 13, Zalatoris.
Oh, he just blasted it. Challenged that right side of the fairway. Oh, man, that went really far.
At 18, Tom Kim, who's been making some big news with a big win at the Wyndham last week. 69, had a good weekend. 66, 69. Tom Kim came in here in the 34th position. Remember that win got him immediately PGA Tour membership status, and he has just hit the ground running. Just 20 years old. Youngest winner except for Jordan Spieth on the PGA Tour since World War II.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's going to be around a long time. You get the feeling.
Yep.
By the way, Zalatoris drove it through the fairway into the rough. We'll get another report on that coming up, as Finau is looking over this birdie attempt at 17.
Yeah, great look here. Very flat from a speed standpoint. Just going to subtly drift over from left to right. Just needs to get it out there about maybe 4 to 6 inches with good speed.
Oh, Tony Finau. That looked good a long time. His putting has been superb through this stretch of great play, not just from shorter range, which used to give Tony a little bit of a problem, but it's the long putting, the lag putting, and he's been able to really gain an even more exquisite touch at. That came close.
Well, great putters aren't always born, sometimes they're made, and the one thing all these great putters have in common is that they think they can putt, and I believe Tony Finau's in a place mentally, Dan, where he believes he can putt now. Because he made some big putts when he had to win those tournaments.
In the best position he's ever been coming into the playoffs. So Tony Finau on this streak could really make it all pay off in the season-long race for the FedEx Cup title. Now Brian Harman for par as this really came back on him.
And the read overall isn't all that difficult. Going to move a little from right to left, so work away from Brian. But the tough part here is being under the circumstance with the pressure. It's straight back uphill into the green. Just getting it there sometimes is an issue under these situations.
Yep. He's got to pound this to reach. He did pound it. Played it out a little too high. Unfortunate bogey. His hopes might be dashed now. Never know, though.
Well, Zalatoris hit it through the fairway at the 13th, so you never know, but just one hole left. It's going to go at least down to 12 under. And 18 has been the toughest hole of the day.
Yeah, I might have early spoke on that one, but you know, you don't want to bogey 17 if you can help it. I mean, this is a 71st hole of a championship, and yeah, it's a tough one to swallow. We're going to head on over to Don Wood.
Get a report on Zalatoris just getting through the fairway, Woody.
Yeah, guys, with the fairways firming up, the whole left side of this fairway really kicks it left. It's almost hard to keep a ball in. It went through the fairway and right behind a small tree. So he can't hit a full shot here. He's going to have to go low and run something up from about 109 yards. He's got a shot, but not a regular one.
That's the second time he's had tree problems. At the 7th, it cost him a bogey. And more tree problems here late in the round at the 13th. And that's the only bogey of the day that Zalatoris has made. Back to Harman for the bogey.
Yeah, that was critical. Now he goes to the difficult 18th. He's got to hit 2 good shots, 2 more full swings to go.
And the lead in is Glover at 12 under. 13 Mullinex from the bunker.
143 after being stuck in neutral all day. After birdies on 11 and 12, he's right back in this thing. Plenty of room to get over that lip. Just a wedge. Caught a little fat, very fat. Right where you don't want to leave it to this pin.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's another bunker shot with the ball below the guy's feet. And you know, tour players, as great as they are, still have a hard time playing that shot.
Okay, there's a good look at the angle now that Zalatoris has, Woody.
Yeah, it's a good angle. It's just, can you judge it out of this? Can you get the right trajectory and run out and judge it all correctly? The actual angle is really good.
First things first, get it over the rough and under that tree. Tends to jump straight up in the air out of this stuff.
Yeah, it took something with very little loft. This is on an unbelievable line, maybe a little hot.
What a shot.
Zinger, that looked like an 8-iron.
Wow, what a shot. get that on the green, get it all the way back there.
Back to 12.
And Sepp Straka, after a long wait while J.J. Spaun took his drop. This is second shot.
He's had the pulls, Justin, but he's corrected that.
Oh, great shot there. Safe play there, getting it past the hole, taking the water completely out of play. Good look at birdie. A moment ago, this was Matt Fitzpatrick. His second shot from 230 here at the par 5. Throwing it way up in the air. Wow! That is by far the best shot of the day here at 16. Such a narrow target to the front part of this green.
I would get Fitzpatrick to 11 under. Biggest projected movers this week, Lucas Glover, who just shot a fine round to move up. At the moment would be a 77 position improvement. Catherine, you're with Lucas right now.
Yes, I am. Lucas, you started the week 51 spots back of 70th, which you knew was the mark to advance to next week's BMW Championship. How did you manage to so significantly improve your position?
I was just kind of knew I was playing with house money. I actually got a good break to actually be in the field. So with some guys choosing not to play, I was able to get in and playing with house money. Figured I'd try to take advantage of it and had a good week of prep and saw some putts go in, and next thing you know, I had a chance.
So you'll go to Wilmington next week, a chance to play East Lake on the line there. How will you carry this momentum into next week's play?
Oh, just, you know, keep working on what I've been working on. It's starting to come around. It's been about a 6-week process, trying to improve some stuff, make a few changes here and there, and just got to shore up the little putts, and I like how I'm playing.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you next week, Lucas. Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine.
Out to 13.
And Molinex, you heard Lucas Glover say, I got a break. And that brings into play, you know, the players that not eligible to play in the FedEx Cup, the FedEx Cup eligibility list, it was dubbed. That got Ricky Fowler into the last slot, 125 position. And boy, Glover taking full advantage of that break and this week.
Yeah, way to go. He was working hard prior to this start of this event.
And Molinex next to play at the 13th.
We saw Molinex out of that fairway bunker. If he'd have been left, he'd had a shot here. He kind of spins something in there as it is with no green to work with, downwind out of the rough. If he gets this to 12, 15 feet, I'd say really good shot.
Now he just brought double bogey into play, Woody. That is a delicate one as well. Straight down grain after he lands on the green.
To the 12th.
And Sepp Straka getting ready for his putt. This is for birdie to tie, Raj.
A little downhiller here. It looks like it has to go a fraction left to me.
He's got it. The man who missed 6 cuts in a row, and last week at the Wyndham Championship, he was last place in the field for players that turned in a 36-hole scorecard.
It is remarkable, Justin, the way he has turned it around. As you take a look at his ranks this season versus this week, I mean, this is just unbelievable. Tied for first at the top there, 3-putt avoidance this week after just being dismal in all those other departments.
Well, you know what? You can toss all those crummy stats out the window. This week is what matters now, and he's, you know, opportunistically clutch at the moment, and that's what it's going to boil down to these next few holes.
And we mentioned his mom and his twin brother flying in today. Boy, that could pay off big time. Zalatoris from long range at 13.
Oh, and he's got work now. That's in that little 5 to 8 foot range. He's already missed 6 from that distance this week. Actually 7.
And this is J.J. Spaun. He found the water off the tee beyond the green with his 3rd. That was a bogey putt. So it'll be a double bogey for J.J. Spaun. Boy, it looked pretty comfortable there through 6 holes. And then it's been a ride he's been trying to get off of ever since. So double bogey drops him all the way back to 7 under par. Now he's safe from making it for next week, but in some trouble.
And Molinex is in some trouble here at 13th. This is 4th.
straight down the hill from here.
Wow!
How about it?
Molex with a clutch par.
Oh, wow, what a shot. He landed it on the green, had all kinds of little sauce on that thing, that spin, and that wouldn't have gone a foot past the hole.
Man, you said it. He was trying to keep double bogey out of play, and all of a sudden, he's got a par.
Yep, this is beautiful. Nice shallow stroke as he keeps the club low. It lands on with a little chatter.
And he is right thick of it for his second PGA Tour victory in a month. He's 30 years old. He picked it up at the Barbasol, and that put a jolt through his body, although he's just trying to calm down. And Finau now here at 18 has pulled off this.
Draw 9's never even crossing your mind.
Crossed my mind.
Just backing off, guys. Wind picked me up just a bit.
Feeling a lot of hurt.
If I draw a 9, it's a mid to high 60s shot.
I think it's a 70 shot with that good.
If I draw it. It does not go on 170 yards, you know? I mean, like,
I mean, it's 660 carries online.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
this to me
is
the money club right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Look, nobody's hit it within 10 feet here on the second shot.
Yeah, that water's looming there.
Yep.
And anything that he wants to get close, he has to fly all the way to the hole. Because going into a little bit of breeze, he's going to be able to stop it quickly.
You think he would need birdie here to have a chance at 3
He's bringing
victories
it
in a row.
Going right at it. This might be a little too much.
That is at it, and just didn't quite have enough to stay up on the green, and it's nudged against the thick Bermuda.
Oh boy, that's one of the hardest shots in golf. That little pitch he's got. See what he can do with it, but he was so close.
He was going after it.
Yep.
Going for a win. Zalatoris for par at 13. To stay tied with Straka. How about that? We talked about his renewed confidence with that putting stroke.
That's a great putt for Will.
Harmon drove it in the bunker at 18, ball below his feet.
Still not one player has gotten it on the green from this bunker, Noda.
Yeah, it sets up pretty well. He's going to try and peel a little bit of a lefty cut just off the right edge of the green.
Yeah, below his feet again. This is another one you try not to hit fat, you know, with all your might. Try to get high-handed at the bottom. It's hard to do. And he's the first player that put it on that green from that bunker all day long.
That is one daunting shot. Ball below your feet, water left.
Yeah, that's well done. I mean, he fell off balance through the hit the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, he's still lamenting that bogey at 17 that he made.
Yep.
To drop him back to 12 under. This was a clutch shot.
Yeah, he needed it.
A long shot at a rare birdie at 18. Which would put him at 13 under and give him the lead in the clubhouse. Wyndham Clark went from bunker to bunker at 17, so now this for a bogey 5. And so he has been throwing some shots away here coming down the stretch. Double bogeyed the 14th, bogeyed 16, 17, and all of a sudden he's out of the top 70.
Look at the reaction. He really, it feels like he has to at least par 18, maybe birdie it.
He's never been as far as the BMW Championship, was right there until the fall off. Straka off the tee at 13.
Good shot, but he's got some power. That's the line Zalatoris hit it on and went through the fairway.
Yep.
There it goes again.
And that's left rough again for Straka.
Cannot carry the bunkers on the right.
Been only 4 birdies all day today at the 220-yard par 3 14th. Average proximity 36 feet.
Not a surprise. This is a scary hole. Second toughest hole on the course today. 4 balls in the water and nobody has gotten within 8 feet from the tee. So Woody, they're going to play about 7 or 8 yards downhill maybe.
220 hole. It's honestly, if I was caddying for somebody right now, I would tell you it's a 190 shot because we're trying to hit it on the left side of the green and keep it short of that bunker. Going at this pin is just, it's a 1 in 20 shot. And you know, you can hit a solid shot and go through into that back bunker, which isn't very good.
Just the second time that Molineux has been involved in the playoffs.
So Woody, your line is the middle of the bunker, just a yardage to play short?
I'm right at the right corner of that bunker. It's downwind, downhill, and the greens have firmed up. So I'm playing this like a 190 shot right now. And it happens to get over that slope and go down to the right, fantastic. But 30, 40 feet short, you're going to beat most of the field today.
Yep. You want 190 in the air or finish on what on 190?
Land at 190.
There's the downhill you're talking about, Zing.
Yep. This is 7-iron from 220.
And we'll see it with our Top Tracer technology presented by T-Mobile for Business.
It's got to go on that line.
It's okay, Woody.
Wow.
That is boy. You think he hit it a little further right than he wanted?
Let's see the smile. There it is.
He's smiling. It's there, and he's got a pretty good birdie look for sure. Finau with his third at 18.
See what he can do with this thing.
Can he pop this in and get to 13 under? Nope.
It's just such guesswork. That grass is so thick there, and
so
you want to blow it by.
It appears that this victory streak's coming to an end for Finau. And now Zalatoris is next over the dangerous 14th.
7-iron as well.
Same aim, Woody. Get left of that flag over by that bunker.
And this is on a perfect line right at the hole.
Oh! This guy is dialed in.
That's what a premier ball striker does when you're Will Zalatoris and you're flowing with confidence. Tied at the moment with Sepp Straka. He is going to have a birdie attempt at 14, which could end up helping him put away his first PGA Tour victory. Sepp Straka looking for his second of the season. But it's Will Zalatoris who has put the heat on him in the first leg of the FedEx Cup Playoffs. Harmon at 12 under. Long birdie look here at the last hole.
Picks up speed right about here.
I think this would have to go down to have any hope of a win. Still, that's a good lag putt's going to get Harmon in. Tied with Glover as the leader in the clubhouse at 12 under. Molinex over at 14 for birdie.
Pretty great leave here, straight up the hill.
Another one for Molinex. And he's just one back.
That's a confident player. No doubt about it. Just won just a few weeks ago.
That is 3 in the last 4 holes.
He was really relaxed on the putting green this morning, almost philosophical.
He won that Barbasol just a little more than a month ago for his first tour victory. He made a 14-foot birdie putt on the final hole to finish at 25 under and win that tournament. That also got him into the Open Championship, and he's trying to open up new doors in his career here. For par is Finau at the last. Disappointing finish for Tony, but still, well, the run he's been on in great shape for next week. Projected 6 at the moment. Now for birdie is Zalatoris.
8.5 feet left to right the whole way.
Beautiful stroke.
Oh, man, he was walking it in like he thought he had it.
Yeah, if you watch the putter head, it's just as straight back and straight through as you'd ever want it. How that didn't fall to the right, I'll never know.
He told Josh Gregory when he kind of figured out what he was doing with his putting and what we described, he said, I now know that I'm one of the best putters in the world. Now, some of the stats will go against that from some of the ranges you've talked about, Zing, but most importantly in his mind, he is confident not only in the ball striking, which he's always had.
Watch his stroke here, how smooth and how just straight back, straight through. None of those little weird wiggles and bobbles here. And, you know, self-belief is everything. And if he believes he's one of the best putters in the world, that's really all that matters.
But he stays tied with Straka.
You can walk in the next one.
As he heads over to the 15th, 4 holes left for Zalatoris to see if he can finally get into the win column on the PGA Tour. Here's a guy that could prevent him from getting there. Straka at 13. was a bid for 3 birdies in the last 4 holes. He'll stay at 14 under. And we go to Fitzpatrick at 17 for birdie.
Right, that much, does it?
Almost. Almost. At 18, Wyndham Clark. He's on 71 in the red just outside. He needs a birdie here.
You would think. You would think. Par probably won't do it. Somebody'd have to blow up behind him. Stay up. Well, that's better than where Finau was. That extra foot into the rough.
And Molinex is on the tee at 15.
Just find the fairway here.
Yep.
This feels like a lot of club metalwood for him. He hits it a long way, but he's hit it very high up the left side.
You know, if it's his fairway, he's just going to flick a wedge in there, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
That really is the ideal spot to be in. With that back right hole location today.
These are the 2 big birdie chances coming up. 15 and 16 for Will and for Molinex. And for Straka. Straka's still got to get past the 14th, Steve.
Speaking of Zalatoris, how about this? The last person to win on the PGA Tour with Z beginning your last name, go all the way back to Richard Zokol in 1992, and he won the Greater Milwaukee Open. So it's been a while since Z has tasted victory on tour.
This is the driving iron. Likes to play a high draw with this club. This is headed right. This is not going to catch the fairway.
This is going to be 7 out of 8 fairways missed for Will Zalatoris. That will not get it done.
No, that sits down too. That is not a good place to be.
All the focus on his putting, and here at the very end, his driver or longer clubs are betraying him just a little. He's going to have to play a dangerous shot over the water there, Steve.
Yeah, let's drop back a hole now.
And Sepp Straka at this dangerous par 3.
Yep. This is a scary one, Raj.
Yeah, you got to take it on. It's downwind, so he's got 6 iron here. You got to hit it a little left of the hole and leave it a little short of the hole, I think, is the safest play here. Oh boy, this is right at the flagstick.
Another aggressive line, Raj, and Straka has lined himself up. Wow. Tell you, he's showing himself a lot after missing 6 straight cuts coming in here. Just amazing how these guys can turn it around. Sam Burns, his 3rd shot coming home, drove it in the trees. And Burns looks like he's going to save par. Coming into the week in the 3rd position in the FedEx Cup points list. He is in fantastic position to make a run all the way to the end at East Lake. Wyndham Clark moved up to 70th with Spahn's troubles earlier, and so he needs at least a par to have a chance to get to the BMW, and it looks like he's done just that. Even though he's really disappointed with the shots that he wasted coming down. I say wasted, just the shots that got away from him.
It's going to come down to 1 shot, 1 stroke over an entire season. Whether or not he can play next week or not, he's at the mercy of everybody else at this point.
He's in by 0.1 right now.
Oh, man.
He doesn't even know it. He knows it's close. He knows that it's gotten a lot more dramatic than it could have been had he just been able to make some pars coming home. Now you look at the plane, the FedEx plane that young Riley had his name on earlier, and the Sunday St. Jude patient of the day is Will, 18 years old from Louisiana. As the St. Jude patients are going to have some of them the honor of being pin flag caddies in the final groups. His last regular St. Jude appointment will occur in a few days. He was treated for an aggressive soft tissue tumor when he was 4. And we go to another guy named Will trying to battle for his first PGA Tour win at 15.
Yeah, downhill lie, thick Bermuda rough. Just nasty over there, and he slaps it out of there, and that is going to leave a very difficult up and in for his par.
Well, being a little more upright might help him, but he's got to generate so much club head speed. He just flicks his hand, throws the club head at the ball there.
Now Trey Mullinax.
113, perfect angle, sandwich, just a little bit of help. If you can slide this a little bit, get it spinning down that slope.
The knee bend says he doesn't love it. It's okay. He's birdied 3 of his last 4, but he was hoping to knock that one just a little closer with that short iron.
And Burns at 17 for par. Whoa.
Oh, man.
14, Straka for the outright lead.
Great opportunity here. 13.5 footer going to his right. Been very resilient. There were a couple of times today I thought he was going away, but he bounces back.
Yeah, Raji had a bogey at 3, bounced back with a birdie at 4, same thing at 5, bounced back birdie at 6, and then 2 early birdies here in his second 9 to tie Zalatoris, who's got issues at the 15th. So who knows if Straka will be the leader by himself here with just a few holes to go. And that's where we go now.
All right, so Will Zalatoris is staring this one down with his 3rd, John, and he said last week in Greensboro at the Wyndham he was really excited to play the next few weeks because he is really comfortable on Bermuda grass, John. He said the Wyndham and Memphis and Atlanta, all Bermuda, but this one is going to test that comfort level, isn't it?
Absolutely. This guy looks comfortable on any kind of grass, but yeah, all things being equal, this second shot ended up in about as good a spot as it could have ended up. He was definitely trying to go left. He stayed in the fairway. He's got a good angle, plenty of green to work with. Normally not a difficult shot, but under the circumstances, obviously trying to get your first win on tour, everything changes. He's got 2 clubs up right now, Zinger, so he's trying to decide between 60 and 56.
Just kind of a square 55.
Facing up over the top.
Yeah, looking kind of at the bottom of where the flag is whipping.
Yes.
Landing it about 12 on.
Okay, beautiful.
Just short of the transition.
Yeah, and have it go up over and roll out. Yeah.
I think he chose the harder of the 2 shots. I think he'd been better off going with his 60 here. It's hard to bump and run from this far away. It's not something you practice a lot. You practice flying at 30 in the air a lot. So let's see if he's picking the right club, playing the right shot here. It's just so hard to wag this up there. It's got great speed on it.
This looks great.
Is that any good? What a save.
How about that nerve from Will Zalatoris?
Wow. Yeah, that's impressive, Steve. You know, that is really as good as any lag putt, but to be able to clip that off of that sticky grass, land it right where he wanted and get the right speed. You know, that's what you do when the weeks you win.
Well, like we said, he loves playing on this surface, is extremely comfortable on it. Now he's trying to win for the very first time here on the PGA Tour and do it, by the way, at a FedEx Cup playoff event. But man, he showed a lot of moxie there.
Yeah, and it's hard to win golf tournaments across water, especially your first ever tournament. He's got 1 more water hole to go, the 18th. And he's just tied for the lead. We've seen guys bail so far away from the water today.
He's trying to, Paul, he's trying to join Camilo Villegas as the only player to make his first ever PGA Tour victory a FedEx Cup playoff victory, and that was all the way back in 2008. So Zalatoris makes his 4 at 15, and now we're back on the tee with Sepp Straka.
Lesson driver here, and of course just a position hole. You want the ball in the fairway here. You'll have a short iron left, and you want to be able to attack if you can.
Wow, is he confident, Raj?
Man, that was smoked.
Yep.
Right, left center.
Fairways.
Low draw, perfect.
Yep. Accuracy off the tee has been a weakness this season, but not this week.
How about a 3-way tie at 14 under? That's what would happen if Mullinex can drop this birdie putt. Now it's going to remain 2 guys at 14 under as Mullinex is making a late charge here on Sunday.
Will Zalatoris, his tee shot here at 16. That's leaking out to the right. Oh dear. Oh, it kicked out kicked all the way out into the fairway. Hit off the trees there. And with his length, he might still be able to reach this in 2. You saw in the playing through, Trey Mullinax missed this par putt. So was in great position off the tee with just a wedge in, walks away with bogey. Let's see if he can get that back here. He's played this 16th hole beautiful. Eagle birdie birdie.
This looks really good, Justin, up the left side. And Zalatoris' ball not only kicked left, it kicked forward out of the tree as well.
Well, a great break from Zalatoris and a massive tee shot by Trey Mullinax. Let's take a look at Will Zalatoris. Lands in that tree to the right, and all of a sudden, whew, just like a whale, just spit it right out, right edge of the fairway, and sure enough, it did go about 20 yards forward. Tell you what, when you're going to win a golf tournament, sometimes you need a great break. Maybe that's what Will Zalatoris is, over to 18.
And you need to hit some good shots like Fitzpatrick did down the stretch of the U.S. Open to win his first major. That's a par ender for Fitzpatrick, trying to finish off a sensational season. So he's in at 11 under par. And there's how he entered the week. And he picks up a couple of spots at the moment.
Over at 15, Roger, Sepp is in position A.
Yeah, 112 here, a little wedge. Wind feels like it's coming right to left, and this is going to be a little left of the hole.
All right, Sepp Straka has never advanced to the second round of the FedEx Cup Playoffs, but he has designs on something a little bit larger than just advancing to Wilmington. He's trying to beat that man, Will Zalatoris.
Cameron Smith here at 16 for birdie. Blew his second shot way right of the green. Hit a super flop to here.
Got lucky and made another putt.
Yeah, right. And now live back in the fairway.
Just commit to your start line. Nice 3-1.
208 after that great break off the tree. Straight into the wind. But Justin, I wouldn't be opposed to leaving something just short of this green. If you get it pin high, you bring in both of those bunkers, but just short is an easy chip or putt. But knowing Willie Z, the way he's hitting it, he's probably trying to make everything right now. This is 6-iron.
Yeah, the 2 bunkers are not easy to get the ball up and down from, so I like your idea there, Woody.
Starting left, cutting right at the hole. Right over it.
Right over the flag.
What a shot.
That's a great shot there. He's got that for eagle. After that great break off the tee. Only a 5th fairway he's hit so far today.
Now here is a big, big spot, Roger, for Sepp Straka to grab the lead all to himself.
Yeah, big putt here. Got that par 5 up ahead. Maybe make a statement here. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that one races by, and we just saw Trey Mullinax miss the comebacker. Speaking of Mullinax, there he is, Justin.
Yeah, took a little bit of frustration out on this tee ball. Just a massive tee shot, Woody.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 yards closer, 204. Same club, 6-iron, back into the breeze. Taking it very high. Just left the flagstick. Can be close to the edge of the green.
Oh, that's a great shot there. The green is only 21 feet wide where that hole location is cut today.
Now here at 15, Straka, Roger, to remain a co-leader.
A little bit of a white knuckler here.
Okay. Yeah. Calmly, confidently, and smoothly roll that one in. No problem whatsoever for Sepp on that comebacker.
This was just earlier at the 18th. Sam Burns, you mentioned him in good position. You see the green 5 up top for the upcoming 2 remaining playoff events. Burns just kind of coasting it down there and lagging it up for a par. And Burns with 3 victories on the season. Again, took some big time off, went on vacation to Greece with his wife, enjoyed himself, said he gained about a pound a day, 8 pounds in 8 days on vacation. So it took him a little time to get in the groove, but not long. Shot 65 in the opening round, kind of cruised from there. So Sam Burns in excellent position to make a run at the FedEx Cup title. Zalatoris in great position to make a run at least a birdie at the 16th. He's on the par 5, 16th and 2, trying to win for the very first time.
Now we are back. Will Zalatoris now for eagle here at 16. Woody?
Yeah, absolutely. Downhill, down grain. It's got some speed to it. Should move to his left a little bit.
Yeah, most players have underread it and missed it on the left side. Should be a tap-in birdie. Good pace there. He's a great lag putter. And while we wait, we'll go back to the tee, and Sepp Straka now wants to put this in the center to right center of the fairway.
Beauty, buddy. Atta boy. Thanks.
Wow, when this guy gets a sniff of the lead, he doesn't back off.
Nice drive there. Now up at the green, Mullinax for his eagle.
Just left to right here. A little scuffy on that fringe there. It's going to be tough to come out rolling true, but not a tough putt. You can get it through there.
Pretty smooth. Thought that would move just a little more to the right. So a good 4, but boy, after that 3 putt at the last hole, he would love to have made that eagle. He's within 1, but that's not going to last very long. And now Zalatoris to take the outright lead. Boy, a great break off the tee. Getting that ball to ricochet off the tree back into the fairway. So Will Zalatoris, leader by 1, up to 17.
And what could have been for Cam Smith today, of course, it all started being assessed a 2-shot penalty as he arrived at the golf course. Second at 17 here now, trailing by a half dozen. But he too is still in good position in the FedEx Cup race. Number 2 in the world, could have been number 1 with a victory.
Kind of actually just devastating news before you tee off to get a 2-shot penalty from something you did the day before.
Went out of the gates and birdied the first hole. NFL season kicks off Thursday. Bills battling the Super Bowl champion Rams. Then on Sunday, 45-year-old Tom Brady with 7 Super Bowl rings. Not enough. And the Buccaneers taking on the Cowboys as we look forward to another football season kicking off on NBC.
And J.J. Spawn taking relief, looks like from a sprinkler head here in the fairway.
Yeah, correct. But everything's gone wrong for J.J. Spawn. A stretch of holes there, 7-hole stretch, 7 through 13, dropped 7 shots to par.
Starting right here.
2 double bogeys, 3 bogeys. It's been a rough go. And there's that stretch right there after the 6th. While he looks this over, we'll go up to 17.
The leader by 1, Zalatoris. Let's set up this par 4, Zing.
I would say this hole's about as straight as you can point, which makes it one of the hardest fairways to hit out here. You have to hit a straight ball or else decide to curve it one way or the other. You can't come up here and just hope and wish to put it in the fairway. You have to hit a purposeful tee shot here. The hole's not cut in a very difficult spot, slightly downhill second. But first things first, you have to put this ball on the short grass or you can get hooked by the rough and the trees.
It's parted every day.
Light the candle!
Dead center, up the left center, absolutely gorgeous tee shot.
Beautiful, tight draw, just knuckled it down there. Look at it go. Stop. Oh, no. A great lie considering, but still big difference between that being in the fairway and in that tall stuff.
Just give him the hold.
Back at the par 5 16th.
Yeah, Straka 221 to the hole.
Playing with J.J. Spawn, who already missed the green with his second shot. Comes up a little bit short. That's in a great spot there. He'll have a good look at eagle, maybe a chance to chip it in. He might putt it over to 17.
Mullenix is next in solo third.
And as long as he hits it, he's going to have to get lucky to not go through the fairway as well.
Big
this
hook
is hard left.
I wonder if that wasn't in the back of his mind.
It hit a tree there, which stopped it.
Yeah, that helped. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to take a little something off a driver. You want to swing hard on those tight holes if you can.
What a roller coaster ride it's been for Mullenix. Got right into the thick of here with 4 birdies in the back, but in trouble at the 17th with Zalatoris up by 1. TPC Southwind has been a fixture on the PGA Tour for many, many years, but the very first time hosting a FedEx Cup playoff event, the very first playoff event for Will Zalatoris. Hoping this is the day in his 56th PGA Tour start, in his second full season on tour, that he gets the win. Sepp Straka looking for his second win. He has really been resilient today. Lucas Glover had himself a day to put himself in position. So did Brian Harman as we get set for next week. And Trey Mullenix is still in the hunt for the title after some clutch putts in play. Mullenix won a month ago. Zalatoris has his eye on the FedEx Cup trophy at the end of this playoff rainbow. First things first, handle this BMW championship and put himself in the best possible position he can be in. Well, there have been St. Jude patients serving as pin flag caddies in the final 6 groups. This was Sung J M finishing up just a little while ago. Malin Kate, an 8-year-old from Alabama who has battled all sorts of problems, being given a ball, coupled there, a bib. And this is really what this tournament is all about. Her parents brought her home from China 5 years ago. They knew she had medical needs. St. Jude took care of them. And there's no way they would have been able to handle them all if it wasn't for the great work of St. Jude. Great scene there as those patients are in the last 6 groups here helping with the pin caddy. 16, Straka comes up short.
Wow, way short. That ball bounced quite a few times there before it got on the green.
Looked like he was putting through Velcro there almost, Justin. That was really slow.
So Mullenix hit a tree, came back a little bit, Woody. Now what's he facing at the par 4?
This is a name on your bag exclusive here. 204 total. He's got to keep it under these branches right in front of him, but carry that penalty area and get it to the next fairway and run it all the way up to the green. Very small window, but a decent lie, Zinger. I think it's doable.
By the way, Cameron Smith 2-putted for par on the group ahead to remain at 9 under with 1 hole left.
Looks like yes.
Just caddy Julian Trudeau as they try to get the right strategy here.
Yeah, a shot like this, Zinger, it is a lot of times it's the window. What's my window? What can I hit that trajectory more than anything?
Got a mound in front of him too, so he's got to get the ball up and out of the grass, but keep it low at the same time. So it's all kinds of trouble here now. This is going to take all his creative juices, instincts.
Wow, got it through on a fantastic line. If it sits a little soft.
It really jumped out of there, Woody.
All in all, he's probably pretty okay with that. He can salvage par. Now Will Zalatoris will be next to play. Go to 16 first, Justin.
And Sepp Straka, he's second in strokes gained putting this week. This for birdie and tie for the lead. He's got it. So all tied up with Zalatoris with 2 to play. Boy, he's played a beautiful back 9. And we'll go to Will Zalatoris now up at 17.
And what kind of shot is this, Woody?
Pretty good lie, 142 total. They just changed clubs.
Longest drive of the day, Woody, 349 yards, but it's in the rough. Does he have a decent lie?
He does, and Zinger, he has really deciphered these lies well today. He's controlled almost every single one to the point where exactly what he wanted to do.
He knows he's in a dogfight.
This is gap wedge off the downslope. As usual, right at the flagstick if it's the right number.
Has that big steep angle of attack, drops it onto the front portion and lets it just run out.
Fantastic shot.
We have seen that time and time again in this young man's young career. Sepp Straka in the final pairing here. Tied at the top with Zalatoris, who hit a beauty in just ahead of him. And that one's gone left.
Yep. He's going to be needing to get lucky with all those trees over there.
It's just a little quick. And we'll see from this angle above, Zing, if trees are going to give him a problem here.
Well, he's definitely going to have to do something with his ball flight.
Now we'll get a report from Roger in just a moment on Straka's tee shot there. In the meantime, Molinek's up ahead at 17, who had to play a low bullet over the green and now is faced with his third.
See how the collar angles at about a 30 or 40 degree angle, so he's got to make a decision here to fly it on, I think. Tendency here is to try to fly every little pitch on the green and not bump it into that sticky stuff. Woody?
Really tough here. He's got a little mound right between him and the flagstick that'll kick it to the right. And it's extremely fast. Lie is pretty good.
See if he can land it on or has to.
I think he's got to bump it, land it in the flat spot, maybe right on top of that mound. Have it about one bounce onto the green and then trundle out from there.
All right.
Just don't think he can spin it from this lie.
He's going to be at the mercy of the bounce, and this is not the most consistent ground to bounce one through.
Left it short on that mound.
That's part of the problem. It's just like glue, isn't it, Woody?
It just stuck, yeah. I think if he'd gone a little lower, he might get the skip, but it had some loft to it.
So he's faced with a long par putt. And Straka is walking up here to see the lie. Rod, you've already had a chance to scout it out.
Yeah, left himself a pretty good lie, but does have tree limbs and 2 large trees ahead of him. He's going to have to play a low draw around and underneath those limbs from 197. So he's got some stress.
Yeah, that's tall order to be able to curve the ball out of any kind of rough. It's a pretty daunting task, Roger.
Yeah, well, he does have a straight line to the flag, but that would be hugging up against those trees, their trunks. So not ideal.
Yeah, we got a decent look from behind the green now. So. Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him, or just to make a par.
Back up to the green. I believe Molinek's is still away.
He is down the hill, moving to his right. Pretty fast putt. And we talk about all the time, you know, this time of year, guys, you know, he's not where he wants to be, you know, after a couple mistakes on this back 9, but still every shot is so big right now.
It is. What an impressive player. He's got a beautiful golf swing, and he just showed the world there a few weeks back that he can win on the PGA Tour. Gave it a real scare here. I think he's going to come up a little short, unfortunately, but I think Trey can really play. I love his golf swing.
And it's going to be a drop shot at 17 for Molinex, back to 12 under. Been working so hard to get it back after going out in +1.
I wonder sometimes what's harder, to get your first win like for Will Zalatoris, or to try to, I don't know, just validate your second win like the first one wasn't a fluke. I would imagine the first one's tougher, and so this is what Will Zalatoris is going through right now, trying to get his first ever win.
Straka behind him, tied at 15 under, waiting for his upcoming shot.
And this is the kind of putt that you're trying to find a break in, and you really can't, and it's straight up the hill. You can take anything out of it if there is anything there. Give it a foot and a half of speed.
Cobbled left, right in the middle.
He's looking over at Joel Stock. This is Joel Stock's first tournament on the bag of Will Zalatoris. Zalatoris made a tough move, but in his eyes, a necessary move at the halfway point at the Wyndham Championship last week. He decided to change caddies, go from his good friend Ryan Goebel to Joel Stock, who's a good player in his own right. And that just didn't go the way they thought. In fact, he didn't have Joel read any of the putts on Thursday in the first day, and then things started to click on Friday, and so this is the very first time he's been on the bag.
Well, what's down there? Not water, right?
Yeah, there's a creek.
There's a creek.
Yeah. Which is like.
Meantime, more problems for J.J. Spahn.
He's wheeled it over here in the left trees. Left himself 220 yards. I don't see much that he can do. He's got, looks like he's going to try to advance it across the water and hits kind of lowish draw, but this has taken a very long time for him to make a decision.
Oh, he asked us.
And while he tries to make a decision, we're going to go to 18 and set the finisher here for Will Zalatoris.
Well, hold on to your bootstraps here. This water is in play up the entire left-hand side. You cannot fly the water, so you've got to deal with it. You don't want to bail out to the right either, because that rough is really deep, and if you happen to go in that bunker, only one player has put it on the green from that bunker all day long. The second shot today with the hole in the back left corner is really dicey as well. A mistake left will definitely go in the water, so 2 more full swings for Will Zalatoris to try to win his first ever tournament on tour, and he's got water on both of these full swings to deal with.
And who knows, Zing, with Straka having his issues, par might be good enough to win it.
No discussion whatsoever between him and Joel. Driver immediately. Very high, trying to carry the corner of the water.
He just ripped that up into the bunker. Can't tell.
Well, it can bury in the fairway bunkers. We've seen that. And that is the second bunker he's in. So he's much farther up, and maybe he can get lucky, but he took the water out of play first and foremost.
We'll get Woody on that in a moment. Straka's ready to go back at 17. Trying to turn it over a little bit from the rough, and it's running up.
Is that any good? What a shot.
What a shot.
Yeah.
Sepp Straka. You can't say it enough. 6 missed cuts before this kind of performance. I want to show you where Zalatoris is balling it up. It did end up in the bunker.
He's got a good lie. He hits it extremely high.
And that is what Zalatoris faces coming up at 18. This is Cam Smith, #2 ranked player in the world, finishing up for par at the last. If you're just joining us again, he was assessed a 2-shot penalty for an infraction that occurred at the 4th hole yesterday. So he went from 2 down to 4 down right out of the gates, and never seemingly was able to recover, even though he came out with a birdie, and hasn't really lost much ground. There's another one of the special pin caddies there from St. Jude. That is Mabry, 10-year-old from Tennessee. She's now finished with treatment and visits St. Jude for regular checkups. Just incredible stories continue. The patience, the support they get from St. Jude. Molinex is away at 18.
174 total, but a good lie. He's far enough back and strong enough where he can get this to the green. And I did get a look at Zalatoris' ball as well. Sitting really good. No issue whatsoever. The ball is slightly above his feet, but other than that, no lip issues at all from where he is. Molinex now 174.
Woody, 34 players have now hit it in one of these bunkers on the right here on 18. Only 3 have been able to even get it on the green.
I tell you, Zinger, it's one of the toughest 18th hole tee shots on tour. It's just, it doesn't present you with an obvious shot. You know, a lot of the times you stand up and you go, oh, this is the shot.
Yeah, it's like 18 at Doral used to be. It's like, what do you do here?
Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
Willie's going to love having that ball. Zalatoris going to love having that ball above his feet. Don't have to worry about the heel catching it fat.
I mean, Zalatoris absolutely ripped that drive. I mean,
So
he's just,
far.
I mean, the one at 17 was the longest there, and that one.
Adrenaline is a real thing.
Open the face. Just hit you a little golf shot.
Yeah.
This is what I'm on. I love this.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yep.
Julian Trudeau really involved with his man Molinex here.
It's a big shot for these two guys. It's so important for him to get it over the lip first. Anything off that lip will ricochet straight to the left.
Caught it clean, got it over the lip, but this is way to the right.
Oh, wow. That is way right. Oh.
Into the middle of the crowd. Back at 17, Straka for birdie, Raj.
19-footer should move to his right. Big putt, big chance here.
Could end up getting in the tournament.
We'll get there.
Oh, man, how close can you be? That was a big one for Zalatoris up ahead to Dodge, and now he's got this challenge.
156. Trying to take something about 20 feet right of this hole would be ideal. Sounded clean, but this is right as well. Way to the right.
Not quite as far as Molinex, but that settles down in that Bermuda, and then you've got that hole location. She's got to look at it. It's.
Oh my goodness, he's in an awful spot. Almost impossible to judge the distance. The green runs away, and he's got that unpredictable 419 Bermuda.
Zalatoris must be wondering, what do I have to do to win a golf tournament? Spawn for bogey at 17. But Zing, it's just more proof of how hard it is to win on the PGA Tour. I mean,
Pretty hard. There's no doubt about it. Zalatoris has sniffed this lead a lot. He hasn't walked through the door yet. He's on the cusp now.
Yeah, he had a shared a 36-hole lead and was a sole 54-hole leader. Today's coverage being brought to you by FedEx, where now meets next. And by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. Coming down the stretch here, the first of the 3 playoff events. Straka and Zalatoris tied at 15 under.
Willie's driver let him down a little bit. He's only hit 5 fairways today, and that's why he's struggling here at 18 to make a par. He's in really, I think, a terrible spot to try to get up and down. You know, he's got the gift of great touch, and he can control his speed under pressure. But from here, he's just literally at the mercy of the lie. And Woody will get down there and take a look at it and let us know if he can control it at all.
Zalatoris has won more than $6.7 million this year on the PGA Tour. That's more than anybody has won in a single season in PGA Tour history without winning a tournament. Cam Young is also high on that list. Another fine talent, young rising player on the PGA Tour. Cam Young has won more than $6 million and is still looking for his first win. Straka looking for his second and trying to become the 9th multiple winner on the PGA Tour this season, back on the tee at 18.
He's capable of hitting a snap hook here. We've seen him hit a couple, and you don't want to do it now. So he's going to have to hit his anti-left swing, and hopefully he doesn't bail too hard to the right. This is just a really hard shot.
Yeah, 3-wood here. And he has blocked it right.
Yeah, that was never going in the water, and now he's going to have to get lucky. And we can see the ball, so
it's a good sign.
It's okay, but he's still a long way back.
All right, Zalatoris first to play up ahead.
And it's a lie that's not sitting all the way down, but it's not sitting where you can predict what it's going to do. It's just get this on the green. You know it's not going to spin. Let it roll out from there. Plenty of green to work with.
Yeah, this is a hard one to get close. That's a pretty good shot, but.
And do you believe it, Zing? It could come down to a putt like this for Zalatoris. We've been talking about how he's gotten more confidence, but can he do it? With the pressure and the heat on. This is what he was hitting out of. That thing was sitting down.
Yeah, it's just brutal down in there, and it's, you know, it's the predictability. You can always get it out of there, but how far will it go? He did a great job of that. You see him a little shrug there. That's not bad. He knows it. He's got a putt that could win him this championship. He had a putt maybe a little bit longer than this, actually, to tie at the U.S. Open.
He almost made that.
Yes, he did. He barely missed. I think most of the players play this putt to go right more than it does.
He was one of his 4 runner-ups this season, 3 of them coming in major championships. Also finished second to Justin Thomas in a playoff at the PGA. Also was a runner-up at the Masters. Now here's Molinex, who went way right and cleared the crowd, and now he's looking at his 3rd.
Much more difficult shot off a deep, steep downslope headed right towards the water. I don't know if he can land this on the green and stop it at all.
The lie looks halfway decent, but look how shiny the green looks. Straight down green.
Oh man, that's a pretty good shot right there. That's better than pretty good.
They actually checked on him.
Chance for par for Molinex, who's going to make it to the BMW. And you saw he was in the green within the 30 right now. He's never been to either playoff event. And that's where we're headed next, to Wilmington, Delaware, with a top 70, which is going to become official here in just a matter of moments. PGA Tour champions in Endicott, New York, Korn Ferry Tour in its first event in the Korn Ferry Finals in Boise, and the DP World Tour in the Czech Republic. So a busy week on tour next week. And you'll be seeing Zalatoris and Molinex and company as they applaud yet another pin caddy there. St. Jude patient. That is Azalea, just 8 years old, from Jamaica. She traveled from her home from Jamaica for surgery and chemotherapy at this hospital. Her mom said there wasn't the kind of insurance in Jamaica that was going to even come close to covering the expenses. And boy, the wonders that they have worked with her. She's now out of treatment, back home, and holding the pin flag here for this second to last group. And a big putt for Molinex here for par.
Really straight down the fall line here, Zinger. As so many of these putts are just so tough to read, these greens, because they are so subtle.
This putt's been missed on both sides. The one Will Zalatoris has been missed left all day, so he has got to put a great read on it. And Trey now, I don't know which way this goes. I want to say it goes to the right, but we've seen guys miss it on both sides.
So Molinex makes the 4 birdies coming home on the second 9, but 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes cost him any chance at the tournament in his second win in a span of a month. But he's in good shape, as we mentioned.
Yes, he is.
And Zalatoris facing a 10-foot putt here at the U.S. Open at the Country Club. He had a putt of just under 14 feet, 13 feet 11 inches to be exact, to get into a playoff. Just barely missed it. And again, the fractions of inches that it takes to win one of these. This one out of the way, and this one is buried.
Yeah, how about that?
Is that one going to be good enough to get Zalatoris a PGA Tour win?
That is all heart. He knows what everyone says about the way he putts. He gets on the 72nd hole.
Started 12, projected 1. He's right now tied with Straka. And now for bogey is Mullinex, who's got himself a couple more weeks to see how far he can move up. He's in his first BMW championship, and he will try to get to his first tour championship.
Yeah, 2 winners. Those 2 guys will be on tour a long time.
And you make it into that top 30, Zing. There's all sorts of payouts, $75 million in bonuses. Zelia witnessed the clutch putt by Zalatoris, who will now wait and see what Straka does. By the way, Zalatoris didn't make a bogey on the back 9 all week. There's his fiance, Caitlin, who was saying, all right, you know, after he shot that 71 on Thursday, what are you going to do if you don't make the cut? He said that was, you know, let's first play Friday and see what happens. He shot 63.
Right here, let's go.
He was tied for 86th after that 71 on Thursday. He might win the golf tournament. Straka is behind him for the rough.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah, this ball's half submerged. It's going to be hard to control. 194. It's guesswork.
Oh, and did he guess pretty well?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. He will have a putt to win it.
What a clutch shot from this guy who's just missed 6 straight cuts. He comes in here and acts like he's Tiger Woods all of a sudden.
Oh, man. Zalatoris didn't get it down at the Country Club, but here at TPC Southwind, you know, he heard some of the critics, and that putting stroke was wobbly at times earlier this season. It cost him some short-range putts. He's cleaned it up. He's gained some confidence, and he's now calling himself one of the best putters in the world. He's always been one of the best ball strikers in the world. Is it going to be good enough to get him in the winner's circle? Zalatoris in scoring after that clutch par putt to post 15 under. Straka will have a putt to win the championship. If he doesn't, they'll head to a playoff, go back to the 18th, play it again if necessary, and then on to some other holes here at TPC Southwind to see how this thing unravels. There are the final 70. The 70 are set, not necessarily in that order. Wyndham Clark ended up getting in to the BMW, even with a double and 2 bogeys coming down the stretch in the last 5 holes. He was helped by J.J. Spahn coming down the leaderboard, Troy Merritt, and others,
Duncan
so he got some help. Yep. But right now, all eyes are on Straka, J.J. Spahn. It's just been a nightmarish kind of final round here. I mean, he looked just so good. All that confidence had come flying back. And then today happened. +7 on his round. And again, he was the 54-hole leader by 1 over Straka.
Well, he could have helped Straka if he could have trickled that past the hole. What Sepp might not know is that once his putt, if it does get by the hole, it tends to trickle on that extra foot or 2. So as much as Sepp Straka wants to make this putt, he better hit it the right speed, Roger.
Yeah, you do. I think this putt will start to move a little left initially. But as it's dying and gets down in the area of the cup, it's got to go back to the right toward the water.
Yeah, it will. Actually, Zalatoris is about the only guy that hasn't missed his putt on the high side. that I've seen. And grass is shiny, so this is going to be a nice, smooth, kind of slightly downhill, slightly with the grain. And Sepp Straka, I would say statistically, if you look at all his numbers, his putting is definitely his strength.
And this to come home at 4 under 31 and win the championship from 22 feet.
Wow, that was a great effort.
Yeah, it tried to go right, Raj, at the end. He just had a little too much on the left and a little too much speed to just have the break take it in.
Yeah, two beautiful putts for Straka the last 2 holes. Neither one goes in, and he's not the Lone Ranger. That thing just slides by the left-hand side.
So it's going to be the first PGA Tour playoff for Straka and Zalatoris, who's not only tired of finishing second, he's tired of playoffs. He's 0 for 2 in playoffs both this year. He lost the Farmers Insurance to Luke List. And then we talked about the PGA Championship playoff loss to Justin Thomas. J.J. Spahn finishing up for par. Kind of the story of the day. Now you feel for JJ. I mean, he had that rough patch after his win in San Antonio to pick up his first PGA Tour victory. Shot 62 on Thursday. And all that confidence had come back, and then it's just one day like this that just wrecks you. But we'll see him at the BMW as he dropped down to 30th as the 54-hole leader Spahn finishes in a tie for 42nd. That is a big fall. Now Straka from short range to force a playoff with Zalatoris. Comes home in 32. 67 for Sepp.
What a back nine.
I mean, you can think about so many key shots, key clutch save earlier on this back nine. And then a clutch shot at 17. I mean, Zalatoris was doing the same thing too, coming home after being left in many of the fairways, off the fairways. And that is Riley, the young man who had his name named after the plane earlier in the week. One of the pin caddies here, Purple Eagle Patient, young 5-year-old from Mississippi, honored as that FedEx Purple Eagle Patient. All right, so how did we get to the 15 under playoff? We're going to start you with Will Zalatoris, who got up to a red-hot start. In fact, birdied the first 3 holes today, so this was his approach at the very first.
Yeah, the guy's trying to win for the first time ever. He comes out of the gates with 3 beautiful birdies, so he knew he had the lead.
Second at the second.
Yeah, he dealt with that pressure all day, Dan.
Watch this one. So he hits the first one within 4 feet, the second one within a foot. So virtual tap-in birdies to start, and then from 15 feet at the par 5 third, man, it looked like he was just going to run away with it. So then Sepp Straka and the group behind him bogeyed the third to fall back to 11 under, but then this his first birdie of the day to get it to 12 under. And then Straka, after another bogey at the 5th, this was the way he bounced back from 2 bogeys, Sing.
Well, and he missed a couple really short putts, came right back with that mid-range 15-footer.
And then Zalatoris made the turn in 2 under and then got to work right away at the 10th.
He laid up with a long iron and it went a mile. He had a short shot into 10 and was able to hold that.
Made that from 7 feet to get to 14 under. And in the group behind, Sepp Straka.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. Sepp Straka watched everything Zalatoris did today and kept responding.
That got him to within 1. So Straka was on the move, and then he goes to the 12th for birdie. This to get to 14 under, and he ties Zalatoris. And they ended up being the story down the stretch. So then Zalatoris rips off a string of 5 pars in a row before this beauty second at the 16th. That led to a 2-putt birdie to get Zalatoris to 15 under. And he took the lead by 1, but behind him, Straka for birdie.
He hit his iron shot right on line, came up just short, putted to there.
So they're tied at 15 under. Zalatoris had his tee shot go in the bunker and then was able to get this down for par. Straka hit his tee shot in the rough. Beautiful play to this point. Had a birdie chance to win it. And came that close to his second PGA Tour win. So they go to the 18th to try to decide it on the first try. If not, they'll go back to the 18th, and then they'll go to 11, 12, and 10 if necessary. Lucas Glover shoots 66, makes a big move, the biggest move of anybody. In that tie for third, tied with Brian Harman. So Glover's on his way to the BMW with some big time momentum. John Rahm is right there in the thick of it for the chase for the FedEx Cup. Tony Finau didn't win his 3rd in a row, but he still is playing some sensational golf. Sepp Straka, Will Zalatoris headed for a sudden death playoff to try to decide the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Here's the playoff format. Sudden death starts in just a moment at the 18th. If they don't finish it off, they'll go back to 18, 11, 12, back to 18 if necessary. So Zalatoris, as we mentioned, in his 3rd playoff this year alone. He's gone right back to the putting green to see if he can duplicate that beautiful stroke that he made for par at the last to force the playoff with Straka. Straka did have a putt for birdie that would have won the championship. Well, let's get the feelings of Justin Leonard. You won here twice at TPC Southwind, and you have any kind of feeling on who you think is going to come out on top here, Sepp Straka or Will Zalatoris, Justin?
Well, I think it may be Will Zalatoris' time. I was surprised he went with driver off the tee there at 18. He flew it into that bunker that's through the fairway. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he goes with less than driver off 18. So important to put the ball in the fairway. And if the players do, then they give themselves a birdie chance.
All right, both guys, Zing, have had some issues off the tee today. Straka has been really grooving it, or he's been way off. You mentioned the possibility of him hitting in the water at 18.
Yeah.
And he went way right to get into that rough, and he was able to save par anyway.
Well, that's right. He hit a couple hooks today, no doubt about it. I think it really matters who goes first off this tee here at 18. The draw coming out of the hat is so random, but I think that's the way they do it. They may do it differently now, but either way, whoever gets to go first can really send a message. Whatever club he chooses, I think the second guy will try to cover him up. So Zalatoris finished first. They don't draw out of a hat anymore. He is going to have the honor, and whatever he decides will influence Sepp Straka's decision.
Zalatoris and Straka coming up at a playoff in Memphis. Very first playoff event for Will Zalatoris, heading back to the tee at 18 with Sepp Straka to try to decide it. It will be interesting to see what Zalatoris plays here. He hit driver in regulation, Zing, and just pounded it into that second bunker.
It's a big decision, and the guy going first knows it. The player that goes second will react to whatever the first guy does. And Willie Zalatoris can make a decision here with any number of clubs, driver, 3-wood, or that long iron that he striped off at number 10. Personally, I think the way he's hit it, he's only hit 5 fairways today. Will should hit some kind of layup club, maybe that iron again, and then make Straka make a decision.
Justin, we were talking in commercial about maybe what you would hit, or maybe what you expect Zalatoris to hit with all that adrenaline we saw at 17 and 18. It's time to gear down, wouldn't you think?
I think so. I think both players, they need to find the fairway here. That puts an enormous amount of pressure on their opponent.
Guys, just a quick moment to say thank you to Mike Lenz, our Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer from FedEx Corporation. Thanks for everything that you do for the tour.
Good luck to you all.
The playoff order of holes will be 18, 18, 11, 12, 18, should they be needed. Will, you finished first, so you're going to have the honor on the team. Play away whenever you're ready, guys. Good luck.
He pulled the driver out.
PGA Tour, he's got the big stick.
He didn't even think twice. So we can strategize all we want. He's going to take his favorite club out and give it a rip.
You know, Zinger, I think this takes out more water than any other club in his bag. I mean, he saw where it carried. He knows he can go a little bit left of that, and it just takes out almost all the water for him.
There you go. Experienced caddy telling us like it is here. So there is a portion of the water that Willie actually could carry. But he doesn't want to flirt with it.
This is at that same bunker he found in the regulation.
And it's in between, and it's on the first cut. By the way, Zalatoris did carry a corner of the water earlier in the championship.
That's a beautiful lie. And look how happy he is, and his caddy. They know how hard that shot is.
Could Joel Stock go 1 for 1 here on the bag? We'll see. Now Straka, Roger Maltby will be calling his shots.
Well, I wonder what he might do. He had 3 wood to the right.
He's got it out again, Roger.
In regulation, he's trying it again. Oh, that's much better. This a little up to left.
Look out
Is
left.
that too far left? No, it's not.
Oh, wow. Heart rate monitor time. Oh, what a clutch tee shot.
Zalatoris and Straka in good shape at the first playoff hole. So while Zalatoris went with driver, Sepp Straka went with 3 wood. And from the perspective here of the tracer, it did look like it was in jeopardy, but this was a quality shot right from the get-go.
He gave a little body English himself there. And it looked water, but man, it was always perfect. Roger knew. He was standing back there. He saw it.
Yes, sir.
From behind, that water comes all the way down the fairway, so it looked like for a while that it indeed needed to get across, and it did. So Zalatoris on that first cut out there, Woody.
Yeah, it's a great lie. It's a steep downslope. That's the one thing he's got to deal with here. The lie itself with the ball sitting great. The downslopes, he may be able to scoot something back there a little bit.
He'll alter his trajectory in all likelihood.
Downhill lie. On the wedge all day.
Finishing on the 18th.
Yep, I think that's perfect. I just don't think there's enough wind. I mean, I almost don't even think it's a smasher.
No, I don't think it is either.
I don't think there's that much proof.
Yeah.
It's still a pretty good one, but
yeah,
just commit to that finish line, okay?
Yep.
All right, buddy. Perfect club.
Talk about going right at the 18, which is about 15 feet right of the flagstick. Trying to get him to commit fully to the shot. And this is wedge. Starting right, not turning over, right edge of the green.
Yeah, pretty far away.
And really fast. That is a fast one. Getting that down in 2 is not a guarantee. Sepp will probably cut that distance in half between his ball and the flag. The ideal.
He's left himself 147. Knocked down the flight of it. It is right of the hole, but just about what you called there, Zinger, about halfway between the 2.
Big advantage distance-wise for Sepp Straka. Represented Austria in the Tokyo Olympics a year ago in the men's golf competition. His twin brother Sam, who flew in from Valdosta, Georgia this morning to see if his twin brother could put his second PGA Tour victory away, caddied for him in those Olympics. A great experience for the siblings. And we want to show you, if Straka goes on to win today, Scotty Scheffler would stay on top in the FedEx Cup rankings. Zalatoris would move up 9 spots into the 3rd position. Straka taking over 2nd. But if Zalatoris went on to win, it would be the first time in 23 weeks that Scotty Scheffler would not occupy the top spot on the FedEx Cup points. And so that's the situation. If Zalatoris wins, that is how they would stack up going into Wilmington. And Straka would be down there, further down. So just to give you an idea of the jockeying for position here. Top 70 already obviously decided. And now it's just a matter of positioning here. Zalatoris and Straka, obviously. Zalatoris to putt first here from a ways away. Woody, what about this putt?
Yeah, just downhill the whole way. Overall, I think it's fairly straight. I think it's got a little left early, and about the last 15 feet, it looks like it wants to drift back to the right a hair. He's just got to really just dial. He's been great with speed all day, and that's just the key here. Don't leave yourself a second putt here.
Well, that's the goal. He's made some significant changes this season in his putting. It all started in May after the PGA Championship. He spent a couple of days with his coach kind of in desperation mode. And he actually got worse the longer he practiced. And finally, they just did a reboot. He changed his setup. He was shrugging his left shoulder up, so he's got his shoulders level. He put his weight left. But then a few weeks after he found that setup and was putting way better, he called his coach one more time and said, I think I've got one more thing to add. And there's a spot on his grip where he likes to put his right hand. It's right around the E on super stroke. And if he gets above it, then he doesn't have as much control, Dan. But if he gets right on it, he found that he controls the putter way more. So that's his
That was the last
things.
piece of the puzzle.
Yes.
Finding that spot on the super stroke grip, and there it is.
Yep. He knows
down below it, that right arm. And it's just made the biggest difference in the world for Zalatoris. What a beautiful lag putt. But for the 2nd straight time at 18, Straka is going to have a putt to win.
Sepp Straka has been magnificent on the greens this week. He only trails Adam Scott in strokes gained putting.
Zalatoris going to finish out here.
Yeah, that grip change gave him all kinds of control with the putter, and it showed.
Number 1 in lag putting this week, Zalatoris. And we were on the putting green as he and Josh Gregory were going through this just formal session of putting. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like a regimented routine of all sorts of distances and drills, and
it's paying off, no doubt.
Now Sepp Straka, it's just incredible when you miss 6 cuts and still have a chance to win. James Hahn, remember what, 6 years ago, won the Wells Fargo Championship after he missed 8 straight cuts. I mean, it can happen, but this is right up there with a guy having all those troubles and then having a chance to win a tournament after all that lousy play.
It shatters your confidence, but it doesn't dent your self-belief.
For the win. And that is coasted by.
It's fast past the hole.
He's had a couple of those today, Zing, and he's been good about the comebackers. But now Zalatoris might get a gift. Maybe.
Wouldn't bank on it. But boy, what a disaster, Roger, for him to roll it that far by.
That wasn't in the game plan. He wasn't going to have to work very hard to get that to the hole. And well, what do you think? An adrenaline rush?
Probably a little burst of adrenaline, but generally when you come from above the hole, Roger, as you know, get past the hole, the next one coming back is almost always pretty straight, or certainly inside the hole. So I don't know what you see here. He hasn't 3-putted all week long.
Well, it's into the green. You got to make a good, solid strike at it, or they can skitter offline at times.
Okay, another clutch comebacker for par. We saw it earlier on this back 9. Zalatoris was thinking there, maybe I'm going to be given this, but Straka from 6 feet. Absolute money.
That's his strength. It's been his strength all season. He's been wild on his approaches. He hasn't been overly accurate off the tee this season. 6 straight missed cuts coming in, but you got to have a lot of guts to have that kind of a rough patch and come in and contend like this.
So they'll go back to this 18th hole one more time. And then again, if they can't settle it in the second trip down this par 4, they will head to the 11th to see if they can't get it decided. So we're seeing a guy in Will Zalatoris, Zinger. You know, again, it's just his 56th PGA Tour start. A lot of people out there going, oh, when is he finally going to win? Finally going to win? And through all of these near misses and many of them in major championships, it's been Will Zalatoris who's kind of had to remind everybody, hey, this is really my first year on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
As a member.
It's what's harder though, Dan. I mean, really trying to get your first win or trying to prove your first win wasn't a fluke. That's what they're both going through. Sepp Straka, after his first win, is just flat out struggle. There's no other way to say it. He's trying to validate that, and Will Zalatoris still trying to walk through the door for the first time. Both incredible players.
So Sepp Straka was a combined plus 39, Justin Leonard, in his last 6 starts, all these missed cuts, including plus 13 last week at the Wyndham. But here he is. How do you explain this?
Well, I think everybody's just kind of always looking for just a little bit of spark. And I've always been told that great players are rarely very far away from playing really good golf. And I think Sepp Straka's play this week is certainly a validation of that point. And for Will Zalatoris, he's had so many near misses. All those misses, I think, have made him a better player, a more complete player. It kept him going to getting back to work because he wants to get over that hump, and he's going to, whether it's today or sometime in the near future. But he's going to be a better player because of all those near misses.
He played his college golf at Georgia. Straka did. Second team All-SEC player there. And his teammates, Keith Mitchell just told me that they called him Ox. They still call him Ox today. That tight bulldog golfing tradition that has produced so many PGA Tour winners. And so Ox is trying to bring it home for the Bulldogs and his family, who flew in from Valdosta, Georgia earlier today.
Zinger, my only question here is, does he try to hit that little cut again, or does he give it the full treatment and try and go a little bit further left?
We'll find out. He's got the same stick. This club he's the most confident in.
This is high. This is headed right in between the last 2 bunkers, cutting towards the middle bunker.
It's a soft bounce.
Oh, man, it hit the cart path.
That is adrenaline city.
And it came down. It might have hit the tree on the bounce. I'm not sure, but it's in bounds. That almost could have been taking a bounce out of bounds had a tree not caught it, I think.
Yeah. Wow. Now Straka, what will he do here? He knows. He saw that bounce, so.
Same game, buddy.
Yes. He heard his caddy. Same game, so he's probably going to go with the same club.
He is. He's going to 3-wood again. I think he might try to take this one just a little further right this time.
I would think.
Man, this is turning up that left as well.
That looks like a carbon copy, Raj.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, just barely this time,
though. What a break. I thought by his reaction he gave up on it, like he just assumed it was in the water.
I'm not sure what kind of. Let's see where this ends up, because the stance will be interesting. Let's see how close this came.
This could have easily gone in the water. This hits on the side slope and stays up. What a miracle that is. Will he have a stance? I don't know.
Ox is on the edge, and Zalatoris is way right. How is it going to end here? FedEx St. Jude Championship. As you can see, it's been a struggle off the tee, missing 11 of the last 13 fairways. Zalatoris' ball bounced big time off the cart path, and there's OB to the right there. It just rocketed up into the trees, and as you can see, when it comes down, it kind of has a straight down drop trajectory, as if the tree did perhaps save it from going over the fence and out of bounds, but he's right pretty close up to it.
Will Zalatoris has a second gear.
And let's take another look on the other side of the fairway. Straka's bounce.
Well, one was a bad bounce off the path, and another was a great bounce.
I mean, that could have easily gone in the water.
That's about a 30-degree grade towards the water there, so I'm not quite sure how he's going to be able to play that next shot. Oh, he's taking his shoes off.
His shoes up. Hey, Woody, as Zalatoris lines up here, just first, did Zalatoris go over there and take a look at the stance that Straka has?
He didn't take a good look, but he glanced over it. I think he has an idea of what he has. Zalatoris' ball now is close to that green fencing. He can't do anything to that fencing.
Now he's hearing the cheers because Straka's undressing over there. At least one shoe is off. Pant leg is up.
The only shot Zalatoris has is hit a big cut and to start it over the water. If not, he can just chip it out and try and make 4 from there. But if he tries to hit the green, he's got to start this well over the water.
He's got a flat-faced iron that is meant to go a long way, that club he's got in his hand.
What do you think of aggressiveness here, Zing, for Zalatoris? I mean,
right. I'm just making sure if these people went all the way there, there's nothing there.
His caddy Joel wants him to get all those people out of there to take a look of right.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, because that little tree right there is in the way.
Okay.
I think I would really want to know what Sepp Straka is going to do.
By the way, Straka just put his shoe back on.
Did he?
Yeah.
If he was in the middle of the fairway,
yeah, I agree.
I think differently, but I feel
Whatever
like
that means.
I think Joel just talked Zalatoris into pitching out here. Had a less lofted club, went to more, looked like a wedge, and looks like they're going to chip out and have a wedge in.
Well, Woody, one of the reasons is
go
listen here.
less rough. Try to hit something right there in that fairway where kind of the bank is.
Yeah.
35. I hope to pace that. I've got 35 behind that plate you can see on the cart path.
Okay. I'm confused. So we're basically trying to hit this thing on 75 yards.
I think 60 is going to carry you on the top, and that way it's going to be
okay.
Okay,
So
buddy.
looking for a
Now,
60-yard
put your
shot.
spot real quiet, please.
And one of the reasons why Zalatoris likes Joel Straka in the bag, he's a good player. He says he played his golf at Oregon and really respects his game, and he talked him into this.
And Zinger, I think the reason he's not going for it, he'd had to take that club head way back inside, and to hit a cut from there would have been impossible.
Well, he lives to play another shot. If he takes a chance there and doesn't pull it off, the tournament's over. So.
Raj, Sepp has his shoe back on. What are his options here?
Well, he would either go in the water to hit it with his shoes on, but now he's going to take penalty relief.
What do you think of that, Raj?
That surprises me because he could get in there. He could chip it down the fairway and get closer. I mean, he didn't have to take on the green with the shot. I would have thought he could have hit something and advanced the ball, 30 yards or something without an issue. But he's elected to keep the point where the ball last crossed the margin of the penalty area between himself and the hole, and now he will be playing 3.
He didn't have, well, he had initial intention to put his left foot down into the pond.
You look at the angle here. He's got a lot of room out there to the right.
He could have pitched it right over there.
Seems like it, and be lying 2 way up there rather than hitting 3 here.
Well, the bottom line is now the guys are still even up, both hitting their 3rd shots.
I'm with you.
Who can be the best iron player to win this thing?
No, I'm on that with you. You got it. Come on.
Well, he's got 152 now, fellas. Obviously not a great angle with that hole cut on the left.
Still, nobody's hit it really within 10 feet here from this far back.
A little twirl of the club seems to like it. What a 3rd shot for Straka.
The twirl told the story.
Put the shoe back on, took the drop, and delivered. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the twirl tells the story. Look at this. He knew it was good the second he hit it.
And that puts big time pressure on this shot for Zalatoris, his third.
94 yards.
And he'll be outside Straka for par. Oh, man.
Well, Zalatoris is going to end up showing Sepp Straka the line. He wants to show him the perfect line. But wow, how hard is it to win out here on this tour?
There's the line for Zalatoris, 56th start. All those runner-ups. And this is how he made the playoff. This clutch putt from 10 feet for par. And if you follow Will Zalatoris in this quest for a victory, there have been times when putts like that, and especially closer in, have been real adventures. But he has solved that problem for the most part.
Yeah, for sure. He's on the identical line, as is Sepp Straka, both the identical line really that they had in regulation. So I wouldn't be surprised to see one or both of these guys hit great putts here. One of the two of these players is going to hold this putt.
Zalatoris will give it a try from 13 feet 8 inches. Woody.
Woody, first in wins here.
I don't know. I think there's a good chance, but I think Zalatoris is just a little further left than he was in regulation, which I think this putt is going to be a slight bit straighter. His one in regulation broke off the moon to the right, so this one I think is just a little bit straighter.
Well, before these guys hit in regulation, I commented how many of the players have missed this putt to the left. Zalatoris hit it right dead in the center. Straka almost made his to win the golf tournament, but missed ever so slightly to the left. And but these guys now, they know what this putt does, and they know what it means.
Zalatoris had Straka move his mark one to the right, calling in Joel Stock for one more read.
By the way, Joel Stock is trying to win here at TPC Southwind for the second time. He was on the back of Ben Crane 8 years ago when Crane beat Troy Merritt by a shot. And now again in his first tournament with Zalatoris.
You got to keep your emotions in check. Keep your adrenaline kind of just right where it needs to be here. Hit this putt the right speed. He knows what it does.
Can he make another big one for par? He knows what it does, and he executes.
Perfect speed. Absolutely perfect speed. And that's the key. Will Zalatoris has figured out what works under pressure on the greens.
Look at that stripe of the golf ball. Perfectly end over end. I mean, this was a no-doubter for par. Just like his one in regulation was, and now that has put the pressure back on Straka. Raj, he knows exactly what it does.
Yes, he does. And now it's a matter of execution, isn't it? And the finality of it all either goes or you go.
He's just been so cool with these most of the day. There he is again.
Wow.
Clutch pars by both players after they had problems off the tee. Zalatoris has that look like, been here before. What in the world am I going to have to do to get a win? Sepp Straka has just been so tough down the stretch.
Uncanny this week. 14 of 16 from the 4 to 8 foot range this week.
He doesn't look like a guy that's missed 6 straight cuts, and Zalatoris has looked like a winner so many times on the PGA Tour, but he still hasn't been there in the winner's circle. They're heading to their 3rd hole in sudden death, to the 11th when we come back to Memphis. After 2 clutch pars at 18, Zalatoris and Straka headed to the little par 3 11th, just 151 yards. Another look at these clutch putts. Zalatoris just under 14 feet.
Yep, and Will Zalatoris has figured out a way to putt under pressure. 3 adjustments have taken him to this point, and Sepp Straka showing off his strength, which is with the flat stick. What a putt.
From just under 7 feet. When it looked like somebody was going to make bogey. They both come out of it with a par, and now they are over to the little par 3 to see if this thing can finally be closed out. There's that hole location on the right side, just over that bunker.
Once again, this is a real decision kind of a shot for Zalatoris, who will get to go first. It's only 151 yards. That could be a 9-iron or wedge for him as long as he hits it.
Yeah, he hit wedge earlier. Went towards the center of the green.
Straka pulled a wedge way to the left.
Yeah. And there's been the way they've done the 11th this week.
Solid one at the 11th. 100%.
Well, really, Straka's shot will hinge on, of course, Will Zalatoris again. If he hits another shot right at the flag like Will Zalatoris, like he's done all day, and Sepp Straka will try to do the same.
Pretty good breeze coming into us all of a sudden now.
Might be a chisel or kind of a sawed-off 9-iron. What do you think, Woody? What do you think it's playing with that breeze?
I still think it's a wedge for Will. He hits these irons so far and so solid. And unless it's blowing, you know, 15, 20, you hit it solid, it tends to get through it pretty good.
Yep. All right, bud, 0 in now.
Yeah, this is a wedge.
Zalatoris has been in this position so many times this year and has said how much more comfortable he gets every time he gets into these situations.
This is dangerously right.
That is on an aggressive line. That just hops along and wedges in between the grass and that stone wall. How many crazy wild bounces has Zalatoris had? But that's not a good spot, even though it didn't go in the water.
Well, he's lucky it's not in the water.
That's true. I mean, that's going to be a tough one.
You can tell by the look on his face, he knows he's in trouble.
Straka now ready to pounce.
Yep, this guy.
He's grabbed one more club. He's got 9. Oh, this is right too.
That's also shorted into the water. Now what's going to happen? Straka was set up for a win. You would think just put it on the green. Anyway.
Look, Sepp Straka has had his struggles, especially the last few weeks. His approach to the greens have been bad, but not this week.
Zalatoris' tee shot dances on the wall, stays in the groove there, and Straka's takes one hop and goes in. Let's take a look at these tee shots, kind of like we examined the ones at 18.
Nice. Me.
Will knew he was in trouble when this ball was in the air. Everything about this shot should be in the water.
Watch this.
Everything
dance, and then settle. I mean, I don't know how that stayed up.
It's a minor miracle. He doesn't really have much of a shot, but he's not in the bottom of that pond.
Look at that, took at least 5-6 bounces.
Yeah.
And then Straka.
Got to go 30 feet left here, Sepp.
Anywhere on the green. His takes one hop, and it's gone.
I think Zalatoris is going to have to take some kind of drop here.
Is he going to be able to play? Zalatoris, what is his situation, Woody?
I think he's going to go back to the drop circle as well. He's sitting in that little ditch area, and if he tries to go at it, I think it just hits up and hits there and goes backwards into the water.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just can't play it. Just,
a chip shot can go straight backwards.
Straka from the drop zone. Raj.
I'm going to try to dial this one in. Has knocked it down. It is deep and left, though.
Into the bunker in 3. crowd is whipped up into a frenzy here. A lot of them have come back to this 11th hole.
I think that just make Will Zalatoris' decision even easier to go back to the drop zone.
Right, knowing where Straka is in 3 in the back bunker. Open to just get it up and down for a double.
It's always a process.
Taking a serious look at it, guys.
Shouldn't be a hard decision, especially after Sepp hit it over the green in the bunker.
It's sitting on the rocks, which means it's going to be so hard to get a club underneath it to get it over that grass in front of it.
He can't get underneath it. He can only belly it. But the question is, can he get down sharp enough on it to get it to go forward?
Yeah, the thick grass is just so far above it. It doesn't look like he can get it up there.
You know, every once in a while, a tour player will get a lie he's never seen before. And this is one of those.
He's going to take a look. He's going to get a feel for it, see what it feels like. I mean, the thing is, if he gets this out and on the green, he's probably won the golf tournament. But if he doesn't pull it off, he's probably lost it.
Yeah, if he catches that stone before the ball, or if that thing just is pounded into the bank.
Woody, can you tell whose turn it is to play?
Who's away?
I think Straka's still away, to be honest with you. I mean,
And
Will can't be more than 20 feet away from the hole.
And that would seem to determine, you know, make
Will's
the decision for Zalatoris, depending on what Straka does with his fourth shot.
I'm pretty sure it's Straka.
Yeah, he's asking. According to ShotLink, Sepp Straka is farther from the hole.
Yeah.
So Raj Straka is going to play his fourth first.
Yeah, and now has this shot with not much room to work with, and the green is working away from him the whole way. So this is not a simple little bunker shot. Oh, he got it to land softly. I think that's a really good effort.
So he's got that for double and a 5. Zalatoris still lies 1 over there in this crazy position.
Boy, if he hits this, I'll be shocked.
I know.
This could go straight backwards.
Right?
Yep.
Well, you got to have the discussion about going back to the drop circle, and he's hit his wedges so good up and down from the drop circle, and there you go.
Stroke itself. No extra one stroke. Just the stroke itself.
92 yards from the drop circle, Zinger. I just think that's an easier up and down.
If he gets it up and down for 92 yards, he wins. There's nothing Straka can do. If he doesn't get up and down, then Straka still has to make a putt for double.
I feel like you're going to drive it into the grass. He's going to go back to the drop there. It's too much of an unknown.
You heard either Will or his caddy say too much of an unknown. And so he's going to go back to that drop area.
Every member at the club is going to try that shot Will Zalatoris picked up tomorrow. He made the right decision. Now, will he make it pay off? The tournament is in his hands. He's 92 yards away, as Woody said, up and down, and it is over. He's one of the best wedge players in the game today, and I think he's done the right thing. Now, can he just execute?
This is the 7th playoff of the PGA Tour this season. Probably the craziest.
Yeah.
Just as far as the decisions and all the twists and turns and possibilities that we've seen in just 3 holes.
You just remember now, Will's trying to win for the first time in his life. You know, this is a long walk back to the tee. There's a million things going through his mind. When he really relaxes is when he's getting all his yardages and getting ready to hit the shot. These walks between shots, it's excruciating.
The other thing, Zinger, is this 92 yards, the drop zone is way to the left, so you really don't have that horrible angle you do from the back tee. So there's really nothing in his way here. He can hit just a little slider L wedge from 92 yards. Use that slope, spin it down to the right.
Great call. This ball will cut to the right, fall to the right.
Yeah.
He hits
a go off the right cover.
Sweet cut too if he wants to.
589. Says down 2 is 87 right cover. It's 5 over, that's 92. So similar shot to what we had on 18.
Yeah. So drop it right in the middle of it. Seems like the best bet.
Yeah, bud.
How aggressive are you here?
Oh, just left of it?
Yeah, I'm looking at the guy in that kind of yellow.
So you want to land it, we got 92 hole, I think 90.
Okay.
Little down grain up there.
Yeah.
Probably just play a 90-91 shot.
Perfect.
Hey, buddy.
87 to carry the bunker.
Zero on your spot here.
He wants to play a 90-yard shot, no wind, and I say he's going to go right at it, maybe 5 or 6 feet left.
Up and down, he wins. Solid, and it walks. I mean, the sound of that contact, like it always seems to sound off of the club of Zalatoris.
He hit it
was
right.
audible.
Yep, he hit it right where he aimed it.
Just hit it on the button.
Yep.
And Straka still isn't in for 5, but it's big time advantage here for Zalatoris. Can he make one more putt? One more clutch putt to put it away.
What an opportunity for Will Zalatoris here. Chance for his first ever win. He's got to make a putt in that kind of that zone where we've documented he might have had a little trouble. He hasn't yipped any putts this year. He's 100% from 3 feet it in. So we can harp on his putting, but this guy's in contention all the time. He putts pretty darn good, let me tell you.
And that's why he's quickly become one of the more popular players on tour. He hasn't won yet, but he has been in big tournaments, those major championships, which get more eyeballs on him than any other tournament. And here in another big spot in the beginning of the playoffs, his first playoff event, he's got more people and more eyeballs on him, wondering when all this talent is going to be realized with a win on the PGA Tour. So Straka is about a little over 4 feet, 4 inches away for a 5. Zalatoris can end it if this 7-footer goes down.
Didn't look outside the hole to me, guys. Looked fairly straight, maybe moving a hair to his right.
Zalatoris is a PGA Tour winner. And wouldn't you know, it's another clutch putt that wins it for Zalatoris.
Right in that zone where we've documented he's missed a lot of putts, especially this week. Way to go.
There's his fiance. Caitlin, who was wondering if he was going to even be around for the weekend. And Zalatoris kept believing. Shot the 63 on Friday to put himself in position.
Look at his body. He never moved. He never moved. He probably wasn't even breathing.
He said he now believes he is one of the best putters in the world. And a lot of people have seen his troubles from short range. I think everybody's thinking the same thing as we are, Zing. He really is this week, certainly with these clutch putts and these big spots. He is one of the best putters in the world to go along with that premier ball striking. Let's send you down to Roger with the runner-up.
Thank you, Dan. Sepp, obviously not the outcome you were hoping for, but your thoughts on those last couple of playoff holes, they were pretty bizarre.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, this course is one of those courses where every shot you hit, you know, you're on the edge of your seat, and you add the nerves of competing for a tournament, especially a playoff event, to that. And yeah, it can get a little crazy.
Well, thank you for your time, and congratulations on a good week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Catherine, to you.
Will, your first ever PGA Tour victory. It comes in your first ever FedEx Cup playoff event, and it wasn't easy. Took 3 playoff calls. You've come so close so many times. What does this victory mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a grind. You know, this week didn't have my best stuff on Thursday, and just kept telling Joel, you know, just keep waiting till the weekend, and to kind of see, see that decision pay off at the last is pretty cool. So.
Number 1 in the FedEx Cup standings now. You head to the BMW Championship, and you've already guaranteed yourself a spot at East Lake. How are you going to continue to stay sharp here as these playoffs go on?
Yeah, I mean, just got to keep doing what we're doing. You know, I said that before this first win. I mean, obviously the process, we've been close, and to see it finally pay off has been awesome.
Feel a little relief?
Not yet. Adrenaline's still pumping, so looking forward to having some celebrations tonight.
All right, congratulations, Will. Thank you.
Thank you.
He also takes over number 1 of the FedEx Cup points list. And also, when you win this championship, all of this comes into play. 2,000 FedEx Cup points, which puts him past Scheffler, not to mention 2.7 million. Spot in all those events. And some big-time President's Cup points as well. He made clutch putt after clutch putt after clutch putt. And once again, when it was all on the line, and a crazy finish, when they both had nutty tee shots at the last playoff hole at 18, they pulled off pars. A bogey wins it on the 3rd playoff hole for Will Zalatoris. It's been on the radar a long time, Zing. And you get the feeling, you know, like they were talking about Tony Finau the last 2 weeks. Zalatoris gets that first win, and watch out.
Well, there was no choking going on, that's for sure.
And you can see what it means to him with his fiance Caitlin. Yep.
What a feeling that is. Wow.
Yep. In his words, he said he was grinding for it, Zing. And,
really
and
was.
in the end, I mean, you can't say enough about the putting stroke of Will Zalatoris. We know he's got that pure ball striking ability, but that was really impressive when it was on the line.
He's clutch. I mean, even in regulation, I said Will Zalatoris has found a stroke that works under pressure, and I can tell you there's no amount of guarantee money that can buy what he's feeling right now, and that man is on cloud 9.
Yeah, that's confidence, too,
Yeah.
as Will Zalatoris now goes into the BMW Championship Wilmington Country Club as the number 1 man on the FedEx Cup points list. Remember, he couldn't even participate in the playoffs last year. He was not a PGA Tour member, and he was still playing a high caliber of golf last year. This year, he's in, and in his very first playoff appearance, he puts away his first PGA Tour victory. Just the 2nd guy to do that in the history of the 16 years of the playoffs. So it's Zalatoris in the playoff over Straka. Lucas Glover, we've talked about what a big day and week this was for him. Brian Harmon finished tied for 3rd at 12 under. John Rahm in good shape. Tony Finau and the rest of the players moving on to Delaware. Coverage of the BMW Championship. That's the next stop against Thursday on Golf Channel. 3 o'clock Eastern Time, continuing on NBC Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. For our entire NBC Sports crew, Dan Hicks saying so long from the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Will Zalatoris is a winner, finally, on the PGA Tour, and a playoff over Sepp Straka. He got the bounces when he needed them and poured in the clutch putts as well.